to rise from the ashes.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Welcome to the Game Week 5 deadline stream. For anyone that's had a bad start to the season, I've got good news for you. There's only 33 game weeks left after this one, so it'll all be over soon. I've had a pretty rubbish start to the season, to be honest, but the last couple of weeks have been a little bit better, and I'm hoping this is another good week as well. My bench boost is active. I don't think it's the greatest bench boost, if I'm honest. I think Senesi's going to struggle-ish to get a clean sheet, although Newcastle played on Thursday night, so maybe it'll be a bit of an easier game. Goodmanson, obviously, Strand Larsson's back, and Dewsbury Hill's a bit rubbish against Liverpool away, but I don't really want to save it and have to figure out a bench boost later on. I think I've, wildcarded with the intention to play the bench boost, so that's exactly what I should do. Why has everyone decided to suddenly bench boost this week? It's just a week that worked out pretty well for our teams. And I wildcarded last week. Burnley are playing Forest at home. Lots of people have got like one or two Burnley defensive players. And then you only need two more after that. So job done. Feel like I have to wildcard this week because the price changes. I get it, but it's probably not going to be the be-all and end-all. Like, there will be, I don't know. Yeah, I guess people will go for like Palmer, Arsenal players. You are going to want them pretty soon after 6. I think, I'm telling you now, there are going to be so many wildcards popped this week. Huge amount. The good news is, for those people that don't want to move early for the Salah to Haaland switch, Salah's actually quite close to a price rise. So he's not going to drop tonight in price. Haaland might go up, maybe, but I don't think he will because he only went up like a day or two ago and like he's got Arsenal and it's tomorrow. So I actually think we might get away until Sunday night to make the Salah Haaland switch. But if Salah blanks today, that could be quite interesting. Would you play Paquetá if you weren't on bench boost? Yes, I think so. Penalty taker at home. Why not? Yes, bench boost, definitely active, 100%. I don't see me not use... I'd have to get an injury this morning. There'd have to be some last-minute injury news for me to not play it. Did I send my tweet out that I was live? I think I did. Yeah, of course I did. Of course I did. I just got rid of Twitter, so I wasn't quite sure. Bench one, Porro, Rodon, Tarkowski. Probably Tarkowski, but I mean, he's definitely going to get defensive contributions in this one. I believe this week the biggest upset will be Man United versus Chelsea. Personally, as a United fan, yeah, it feels like hope, doesn't it, really? Enjoy the weekend. Best of luck. You deserve a green arrow for the many years of content. Thanks, Dan. And good luck to Man United, of course. But yeah, I don't know if it would be an upset if Man United got a result necessarily. I mean, they are pretty bad, so maybe Chelsea should be looking at that as a guaranteed win. But yeah, it's at home. I'm not expecting Man United to play as bad as they did at times against Man City. Although, if I could hold out with a little bit of hope here, at times Man United looked okay, in attack in the first half-ish, but they didn't really create any clear-cut chances, I guess. Most of it came in the second, I don't know. I thought we were okay at times. I just felt like it was watching like a kids team that once the first goal goes in, it's almost like it's inevitable defeat. Chelsea haven't won at Old Trafford since 2013. Well, those kind of records are always there to be broken, I guess. But yeah, I'm hopeful Man United will do all right today. I have Haaland, Eze, Cunha, Raya, and Donnarumma. Can you put them in order of who to play? Raya and Donnarumma. How much money are you spending on goalkeepers? I mean, I would definitely play Raya over Donnarumma. That's easy, right? And then Haaland, Eze, Cunha in that order. Like, I do think Cunha might start today, but I cannot guarantee it. Thinks of a 1-1 with Bruno penalty, 12-point. I'd love it. I would love that. Would you bench boost Semenyo, Bruno, Gabriel, Dubravka? Come on now, Chaz. Come on. I'm not going to answer that. Would I bench boost the players that would never be on your bench? There's no way. I know sometimes I say this and then people reply and it's actually a legit bench. There is no way Semenyo, Bruno, Gabriel, Dubravka is a legit bench. No way. Can you explain how the bench rankings are measured? It's just my opinion, basically. Worth keeping Ekatike for today's game. His price going down tonight, so early transfer this evening anyway. You don't have to transfer him out early, but I get it. I think Ekatike will probably start, would be my guess. But as I've got in the ticker, I'm a little bit less sure about that than I was because Isak played and started the first game, and then Slot also said he was a bit fitter and sharper than he thought he was going to be. So it all spells good things for him moving forward, I think. But I'm pretty sure Ekatike will start. But this might be the last. Well, it won't be the last time we see him start for a while. I mean, Isak could start midweek, and then Ekatike could start next week in the league again. You never know. They've got a Carabao Cup game, so we will see. We will see. What do you think about Chris Wood? Should probably just keep him if you got him. Probably not buy him. Cunha, Strand-Larsen, or Dewsbury Hall, who to bench? Ooh. I mean, Dewsbury Hall is the only one that's definitely going to start, but he's also the worst one on paper. I'd be tempted to bench Dewsbury Hall and just risk the other two. Bruno and João Pedro to Palmer and Voltemada for a -4 or raw. Oh my God. Shut your team down right now. Voltemada's just got benched against Barcelona. Now, he will play this weekend. He will start. But Eddie Howe's basically said even if they manage him, they don't know if they can keep him fully fit or something like that. I don't think they mean that he's close to injury, but no chance would I do that. By the way, I might not be far off saying I've made a mistake on João Pedro. Which defenders would you play bench? Van Dijk, Cucurella, Juve, Nico Williams, and Esteve. Ooh. I mean, you've got to play Van Dijk. That's the most obvious one there. And then probably I can just see Cucurella popping up with a goal. I think he scored against Man United last time out. It's away from home, innit? I don't know. Nico Williams and Esteve and hope for a 0-0, maybe. I'm planning to free hit 6. Should I just do it straight after game week 5, or does it not matter? I haven't looked at a free hit 6 draft. I will say this. A lot of free hit teams that I've looked at so far this season have been quite tight for money. But I don't know if that will be the case in game week 6. I'm just trying to think who would you want, right? You'd probably want like triple ball, maybe 2 or 3 Bournemouth, 3 Man City, Vardiol, Reinders. I mean, actually, people are going to go Vardiol, Foden, Haaland. So straight away, right, you're probably going Foden, or maybe Reinders and Foden and Haaland. You're going Foden instead of Reinders probably on free hit now, so that's a huge chunk of money. So if you're absolutely sure you're going to free hit in 6, you might as well just activate it straight away. If you're unsure, then don't. Start Esteve or Nico Williams. Probably Esteve. I quite like Esteve this week. Although, the thing is, it's a weird one because part of the reason to say Esteve over Nico Williams is Ange might make them slightly worse defensively, but then he might make them better attacking-wise, and that means that maybe Esteve doesn't keep the clean sheet, potentially. I think just about Esteve because he's at home. Has the Liverpool versus Everton game been postponed? Absolutely, yes. That's what I'm sat here very calm. Salah captain. My bench boost is active with Dewsbury Hall because it's been cancelled yet. There has been some talk about the weather, but I've not seen anything serious about it. Like lots of rain apparently. But as I saw someone say this morning, if there's one thing that England is prepared for, it's rain. Dewsbury Hall or Reinders. I've got Dewsbury Hall just ahead, but honestly, I'm not even sure that's correct. I think Reinders is probably the better FPL option overall, but Dewsbury Hall's got the slightly easier fixture just because it's not Arsenal, but it's still Liverpool. I'm going to put Dewsbury Hall just ahead of Reinders, but that might be some slight bias because I've got Dewsbury Hall in my team. There's almost nothing in it. If you want to play Reinders, just play Reinders. Would you recommend benching Strand Larson? Yeah, Strand Larson for either Esteve or Reinders. I really want to gamble on. Well, if you really want to gamble on him starting, play him ahead of Reinders. Just because it's Arsenal away. I'm really interested to see how that Man City Arsenal game goes. I think Arsenal could win like 2-0, something like that. I think Arsenal fans should be quite confident this season generally. 2-0, maybe that's a little bit harsh on Man City because that attack's so good. Like Doku obviously playing really well at the moment, etc. No Man City wide. They're playing Arsenal away. Next week I might have 2 Man City potentially. Your Crash captain over Semenyo, Rob T Data. One thing it depends what you mean by Rob T Data. One thing to say with the stuff that he is posting is just be not careful, but just check what, like for example, you're looking at projected goals, I think, right? So your Crash is ahead of Semenyo on projected goals, but that's not that's projected FPL points. Okay, sorry, I take it all back. I don't know if I would captain your Crash over Semenyo. I guess it's guaranteed penalties for your Crash, but I think Semenyo's going to be on them anyway. I thought that was goals you were looking at, and obviously it doesn't take into account assists, clean sheets, bonus, etc. It'll be the first game where a team doesn't low block Arsenal, so Arsenal could get a few goals. Yeah, it's gonna. I honestly, I think it's going to be really interesting. The markets are really bullish on your Crash. Like, according to I think it's the SpreadX numbers that Rob posts, Gyökeres is projected the same goals against Man City at home as Salah is against Everton at home. So I'm really interested to see how he does. The minutes are obviously not as good, but again, it will be, and I'm going to say this word a lot today, it's going to be interesting to see how many minutes Gyökeres gets, because although I'm slightly concerned by the 2 early subs, I have a feeling we're going to see, actually, I don't know. I think we'll see 70 plus minutes from him. I don't know if we'll get to 80 plus. I just think Arteta's got other options he can use, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Interesting. Salah and Mateta to Haaland and who? Reinders or Njai, probably. Yeah, Reinders or Njai. Reinders just seems quite obvious because it's Burnley at home and he's less than 6 million. Annoyingly, Njai didn't drop in price last night. Njai's quite close to a price drop, by the way, to 6.4, which is mad. So, yeah. I like Njai because of the fixtures and the penalties, but Reinders is just such good value. And City's fixtures are quite good for a while, and he keeps playing 90. I know he got subbed early in Champions League, but if anything, that was a good thing, I think. I'm doubting Forest defence with Postecoglou, thinking Nico Williams to Romero. No, I just think that's a waste. Waste of a transfer is maybe a bit harsh, but it just feels very low value. Taking out a player before they play Burnley away for a player that plays Brighton away. I agree, right? Spurs defence will be better this season, but it's just a rubbish. It's not. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? Yeah, I think it's a rubbish move. I'm just gonna say it. I think it's a rubbish move. Do I have a ponytail? I mean, look at my hairline. Right? Do you think this is a guy that's got a ponytail? Why the fascination of Salah versus Haaland? Why didn't people just get the 2 best assets from the start? Because they just wanted better overall squad, I guess. It's not really like people always say like fascinate. What's the obsession? Like people just I've just made a choice to only have one. It's not an obsession or a fascination. I just wanted Salah, and then later on I'm just going to get Haaland. And also pivoting to Salah and Haaland when you're not on wildcard is quite difficult. Not thinking of bench boosting simply because so many content creators are going there, and in my opinion, sure to backfire. Fair enough. Jeremy, West Ham, Minter, Spurs, or Rodon Wolves to start. Minter. Should I be worried about Gyökeres' minutes going forward? Maybe slightly, yeah. I don't think he's going to get benched, but maybe it could happen. But I don't see that right now. Would you bench boost the Bravkurt, Dorgu, Strand Larson a step? Probably not. Dorgu's up against Chelsea. Strand Larson's a doubt. By the way, am I mad in thinking this is the one game week we can bench Reinders without being too worried? I mean, Arsenal away is tough. It will be tough. Maybe it ends up being this really open game where Arsenal just go for it. I doubt it. I just think that defense is so good. It's yeah, the Reinders, honestly, Reinders blanking for 3 game weeks in a row is probably my favourite thing to happen so far this season. And that's not a dig at all the owners, because I think he's good value, and I think you got unlucky to not get a return against Man United. It was just the sheer panic and like all the narratives that came out after game week. Well, if you'd watched Serie A, you'd know how good he was. Bam, 3 blanks in a row, so good. That's my favourite thing. I don't know what's going to beat that. Something over the next few weeks will beat that. Might want to tone down on the people always say. I play a predicting game. How many times you will say it each stream? How many times will I say it? I am a body language expert. Ekatike is starting. I got no idea what body language has to do with Ekatike starting. Surely it's all down to ease out fitness. Paquetá, unless you're saying that his body language said that he wasn't fit enough to start 3 days later. Paquetá or Reinders? Paquetá for me. Grealish and Dewsbury Hall in the same team. Yeah, don't see why not. I might have Njai and Dewsbury Hall in the same. He's getting a brace. I mean, Reinders could get a return. He's good. He's a good value pick. That's what, in some ways, that's what makes it better for me, because I don't think people made a mistake going for him. But it's just fun when he's blanked so many times. Should I transfer Strand Larson to João Pedro? If you haven't got a good bench this week, yeah, you could do that. Start Dango or Lacroix. Probably away to Fulham, right? He will start, I think. I know he didn't start last week. Lacroix, I think Lacroix is good this week, though. Shame it's not at home. If it was at home, I'd probably say Lacroix. Do you know what? Just because of the minute start, I'm going to say Lacroix. He's scoring a goal this week. I can feel it. That West Ham defence cannot defend set pieces at all. Bench boost to Bravka, Reinders, Porro, Esteve. I think that's not a bad bench boost. Again, I'm always going to say this. When are you going to have a better bench? And if you haven't used your wild card, surely you probably want to get rid of it before your wild card, not after, right? Can we get a happy 37th birthday, Andy? He's a new fan of yours and we were listening at the start of a 13-mile hike. Happy birthday. I don't know who it is, though, because she's not said their name. Good luck on the hike. Wildcard in 7. 13-mile hike. Love it. Half marathon. Wildcard in 7. Wood, Mateta, Evan Nielsen for 5 and 6. Need to sub Guiu this week as bench boost and can't afford Gyökeres for future moves in game week 6. Oh, sorry. So the choice is Wood, Mateta. Evan Nielsen. Probably Evan Nielsen. Oh, no. Do you know what? I'd probably go Chris Wood. I'd go Wood, Evan Nielsen, Mateta in that order, purely because Mateta's playing Liverpool next week. Eze should start, yeah. Wildcarded in game week. Sorry, you're wildcarding in game week 6-7. Vicario or Sells for 5-6. I would go for whoever you've already got. So if you've got Sells, I wouldn't transfer into Vicario. If you've got Vicario, I wouldn't transfer him to Sells. I would save that transfer. Otherwise, who have Spurs? Oh, Spurs have got Wolves next week. I'd probably still go Sells. I've already answered the Gyökeres minutes question, by the way. Bench boost this week and wildcard next and have 2 free transfers. Diop or Esteve to Joachim Anderson or Lacroix and Guiu to Mateta or Evan Nielsen. Oh, bench boost this week. Diop or Esteve. Well, I wouldn't sell Esteve if you're bench boost. That just doesn't feel like worth a transfer. Diop, I guess, if you have to sell. Probably to Joachim Anderson and Guiu to... Who would I rather have, Evan Nielsen or Mateta this week? Mateta's on penalties, isn't he? Yeah, I'd probably go Mateta. Bench boost to Bravka, Elliot Anderson, Van der Ven, Dorgu. Probably yes. But again, is your bench going to be better at any point over the next few weeks? Start 2, Kudus, Larson, Kukurea, Reinders. Kudus for sure. Probably Kukurea, I think. I don't think Isak starts, no. I don't think Isak starts. But I could be wrong. What do you think of Salah to Haaland? I think it's good next week. I think this week makes no sense, to be honest with you. Just feels like a waste of a transfer. Bruno, Haaland or Watkins captain? I probably go Watkins, then Bruno, then Haaland. Well, it does feel a bit wrong to put Haaland third on the list, but that's where I'm at. On a wildcard, am I crazy having a Villa defender? I probably would not buy a Villa defender on wildcard, although I did think of it. I wouldn't say I was close to it, but I did consider putting one on my wildcard. Yeah, after the next 3 fixtures, the fixtures are quite rough. Like Bournemouth at home in 11 is okay. Wolves at home in 13 is okay. But outside of that, it's tough teams or away games. I probably wouldn't do it. I'd rather just go for someone who gets good defensive contributions like Senesi or someone like that. He has gone up to 4.7 now, which is not ideal. But bench boost, Verts, Juve, Nico Williams and Darlow. I would definitely bench boost that. I just can't imagine you get a better bench than that anytime soon. Juve's at home. I'm hoping Palace score, obviously, but Juice at home and he's attacking. Nico Williams got Burnley. Darlow's fine because he's going to play because Perry's out. And then Wirtz. I mean, I know Wirtz has been super disappointing, but how often do you get to bench boost with someone like him on your actual bench? Which maybe it's a legit bench. I don't know. There's no news on whether Murillo will start. He's basically a doubt. So there's no updates, I'm afraid. Bruno, Haaland or Watkins captain. Oh, I did that one. Worth playing Cunha, or is it like he gets a few minutes? Yeah, I think he'll start, but I cannot guarantee. Obviously, he's been out injured. So there's every chance he's just on the bench. I think whether I started Cunha would really depend on who the other option is. Like, if it's Cunha or... I'm trying to... I don't know. A defender with a bad fixture, I'd probably just punt Cunha. If it's Cunha Reinders or Cunha Dewsbury Hall, I'd maybe just punt Cunha. But there is every chance he just doesn't start. Would you do bench boost with King or move into Anderson? I'd probably just bench boost King. I mean, his minutes are probably going to start to go down a little bit over the next few weeks, but I think he's okay to bench boost this week. They've got a lot of options now, haven't they? Or more options than they had before people got him, anyway. Would I go Strand Larson on Wildcard? I mean, presumably, he gets minutes this week and then he's just back in the team as long as he can stay fit. So, for that reason, I guess he probably is quite a good choice. There are some nice fixtures coming out. I think we'll see more people consider Strand Larson after this week. It feels bad, though, to put someone like that. Like, you don't even know if he's going to play this week. Maybe. I wouldn't be that convinced by it, put it that way. Wait to bench boost in 8 when Burnley have leads. If your bench is going to be better in 8, then yes, you should wait. If it's going to be much better. If it's only going to be slightly better, then obviously you run the risk that you might pick up an injury before then. I really, I don't want to just sit here and, say to people, just write your bench off. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Don't even think about it. Just play it, right? Because I don't agree with that. But I think it's got to be pretty good later on to delay it. If you're just delaying it because you've got two Burnley defenders against Forest instead of 2 Burnley defenders against Leeds, is that worth it? I'm not so sure. I took a minus 32 by accident. If I play bench boost, do I get my points back? No, you got to play free hit or wildcard to cancel that. Play Reinders or Calafiori, have Haaland in the 11. Probably Reinders. Vicario or Dubravka. I'd probably play Dubravka this week. Reinders or Grealish. Oof. I'm going to say Grealish. It sounds like I just don't rate Reinders when I really do. Got to respect the delusion to still wear a United top when we know Chelsea will pump us later. I don't think we'll get smashed. I just like this top anyway. It's nice. Nice. Possibility of leaks on the Liverpool lineup. I guess it's possible, yeah. It's always possible when it's the first game. Will it happen? Probably not. Also, who are you unsure about? Wirtz maybe, but I'm pretty sure Wirtz starts, right? I'm pretty sure it's just going to be Salah, Wirtz, Gakpo, Ekitike as always. And that will probably change from next week maybe. Would you bench boost 5, Dubravka, Dewsbury Hall, Van der Ven, Goodmanson? Again, when's your bench going to be better than that? Probably. I know I'm a broken record, but I don't really know what else to say. I mean, it's your team, right? You're going to have to look through and see when it's going to be a better bench, you know? I can say to you, I can't. There's no point in me saying game week 8 might be better because it might not be better for you, right? You might have a worse bench that week. So you're just going to have to go and have a look. Wirtz, you want an excuse to sell him. Yeah, I get it. But he's probably going to start. It would be funny if he's benched, but I suspect he's starting. Actually, I don't even know if I'd find it that funny, actually, because I think people that have got Wirtz have been... I know people will now say, in hindsight, or maybe not hindsight, that he was always a terrible pick, but I don't think that's true. I think people overrated how good he was, and I say that as someone that went with him, but it's a bit harsh to have nothing so far, so it would be harsh if he got benched. I'll take that back. Is Semenyo essential? No. Bench boost 8, but then Dewsbury Hall has Man City. I mean, arguably, Dewsbury Hall against Man City away is better than Liverpool away. Not, I don't know if that, but again, if that's the only reason you're delaying the bench boost, you should probably just play it now. Any update on the weather in Liverpool? It's probably still rubbish, I would assume. Fun fact, Chelsea haven't... Oh, yeah, seen that one. Donnarumma and Gabriel or Raya and Van Dijk on Wildcard. Honestly, I'd probably go Gabriel and Raya, but if it has to be one of those two, I'm going to say Raya and Van Dijk. Would you captain Semenyo over Haaland? I think I would, yes. Captain João Pedro or Gyökeres? Ooh. I'm going to say Gyökeres on penalties. Arsenal to get a penalty at home against Man City. Gyökeres to roll in his hat-trick could happen. Bench boost to Bravka, Juve, Estev, Guiu. Yeah, that I'd be less sure about. Guiu's probably not going to get many. He's definitely not going to start, right? Wildcard 6 if you have Wood, Rodgers, Watkins and Bruno. I mean, they're all pretty good in Game Week 6, right? But if it lets you fix a bunch of issues you're not happy with and you can get Haaland in and whatever else you want to do, sure, why not? I think the only real reason, like, okay, your team might be good in 6 and that's obviously a reason to delay it. But the main reason to delay the wildcard until like 13 is to get Haaland and Salah quite like in one go. Because if you only go with one, like I have, it is quite difficult to pivot to the other one without like multiple transfers. By the way, I can already see me just going without Salah until game week 14 and just free hitting him in that week. That'd be, yeah, maybe not if there's a blank and double at some point, but I just don't know if I'm gonna like. It's all right this week because I've just wildcarded rolling and then getting Haaland next week, but I'm not going to consistently be able to roll just to move Haaland and Salah around. Cunha to Semenyo this week and maybe even captain Semenyo or roll and play Cunha and get Haaland for free next week. I mean, ideally, if you want Haaland, you should get him for free next week, right? But Cunha to Semenyo is probably a good move. Last season's result is playing on my mind. Arsenal 5, City 1. Yeah, I mean, Pep Guardiola did also mention Rodri as well. That he doesn't think he can necessarily play 3 games a week. I'm pretty sure Rodri will start this game, by the way, but I don't think he's going to go and play 90. I don't see another 5-1, but I do think Arsenal are pretty strong favourites. Don't know about that, but they're definitely favourites for me. I mean, they're at home, which always helps, but I just think Arsenal are strong this season. Rich and Rodgers to João Pedro and Elliott for free. I think Richarlison will start, so I probably wouldn't do that. Captain Gakpo, Watkins or Semenyo. I go Semenyo, then Watkins, then Gakpo, I think. Van der Ven, Grealish, Konza, Richards. Oh, bench 2, sorry. Van der Ven and I think I would play Grealish, honestly, so I'll say Richards. Underestimating Man City too much. No, I just think I'm not. I think Man City are easily top 3 team in the league, so I think the idea that I'm underrating them is just nonsense. But it's more. It's more. I just rate Arsenal, especially at home. Defensively, they're just so good. Is this your full-time job? Somehow, yes, it is. Feels stupid for not having an Arsenal player in my team. I wouldn't worry about it this week. They are playing Man City, right? There is a chance it doesn't do great. They don't do great. I would maybe consider Cunha to Semenyo rather than roll, yes, if you've got no other bench player. But if you've got a bench player, you could just play them and get Haaland for free, right? Start 2 of Van der Ven, Senesi or Estev. I'd bench Van der Ven. Harvey Elliott, Anderson or Reinders for the next 3 game weeks. I mean, on paper, it's probably Harvey Elliott, but we're still not quite sure what his minutes will be. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't come into the team this week. But honestly, I think I'd go Reinders. Start Reinders or Cunha. I'd maybe punt Cunha. God, Reinders is going to score. Reinders is going to get a goal and assist after this stream. Liverpool favourites to win the league, or is this Arsenal's year? I think Liverpool are favourites, yeah. But I think Arsenal will get close. I mean, the fact that Liverpool have already got 4 wins from 4 as well, like, who did Arsenal lose against? They beat Man United. They beat Leeds. Who did they lose to in game week 3? Hang on, I need to remember. Did they lose in game week 3? Who have they played? 1-3 lost 1. I can't remember who Arsenal lost to. Oh, Liverpool, of course. Of course. The Szoboszlai free kick. I wonder how long that would have taken me to figure out if I hadn't read the chat. Yeah, so I mean, that's already quite big for the title race, isn't it? Seb's team value's in the bin. I got fantastic news. My team value is back above 100 after today. So, you know, going to be making mad moves soon. No transfers, though. It's always nice. Watkins owes you. Watkins is due a goal. He's not going to keep doing this. Yeah, Liverpool. Fair. Of course, Liverpool, yeah. Fun fact, Palace are currently unbeaten in the last 10 Premier League matches. 3 wins, 7 draws. Wow. But they ain't losing today against West Ham. In fact, is the game today? Yeah, it is today. Liverpool first game, 12:30 kickoff. The 3 p.m. game in Ireland is Brighton versus Spurs. I might watch that just in the hope that Spurs lose their clean sheet. Then Man United Chelsea at 5:30. Looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to it now. I might not be looking forward to the second half once I've watched the first half. And then Fulham Brentford. Will I watch that? Maybe. I've got Fulham in last man standing. I had to go Fulham this week. I saved Villa for game week 7 against Burnley. So I've gone for Fulham instead. So I might watch that. Tomorrow's games are good though. I kind of want to watch. I'm not going to be able to watch Bournemouth Newcastle, I don't think. But that's the game I want to watch. So I got triple Bournemouth. Then Arsenal Man City will be good. Do I think Frimpong starts? I think Szoboszlai might just play there again. I feel like Slot just has to keep playing Szoboszlai there because the alternative is to bench one of McAllister, Wirtz or Gravenberch or Szoboszlai. So I wouldn't count on Frimpong starting, to be honest with you. I feel Haaland is looking for an opportunity to reclaim the stay humble. Easy captain based on logic. I'm not sure. Would he want to do that again after what happened after he did it last time? Probably not. Forgot to play the wild card. Will it take off the hits? Yes. Grealish, Tarkowski or Estev, start 1, bench 2. I'd probably start Grealish if it was me. Would you start Alanga or Elliot Anderson? Ooh, do you know what? Probably Elliot Anderson. Probably Elliot Anderson. Because Alanga's not even guaranteed to start. Thoughts on risking Mateta over Salah captain? It's fine, but I think Salah is the better option, to be honest. I don't know how anyone could sit here and say that Harvey Elliott's nailed for Villa because he literally didn't start last week. Now, that might be just because it was the first game and maybe he just comes into the team this week and plays every single game. But I can't sit here and say he's nailed. Not yet. We haven't got anywhere near enough info to say that, I don't think. I suspect he will be close to nailed, but completely nailed? Don't know. I would go Reinders over Harvey Elliott, I think, on Wildcard 6. I'd also be tempted by Dewsbury Hall because you know his minutes are good. But I think Harvey Elliott's worth it if you want to take a punt. Play one Porro, Stev, I think. Am I mad for selecting Ekitike on free hit? I wouldn't say mad, no. I don't think I would necessarily pick him because his minutes are probably going to be limited, but I don't hate it. Would you sell Wood captain and Murillo for Yorkeresh captain and Senesi? Probably not. I guess it goes down as a don't hate it if it's for free, but probably not. Switched out Zubamendi for Semenyo. Thought he would get Defcons, which he didn't really. I know, only 2 goals last week. Nightmare. But no, I get it. He's not going to keep scoring 2 goals every week. And Semenyo seems like a pretty good option moving forward. I feel you. Not getting Defcons, only getting 2 goals. It's tough life. I want to start one Burnley defender, but due to Murillo, it's hard. If Murillo was fit, I would have done Murillo and Dubravka. If not fit, I would have done Esteban Sanchez. Just start both the Burnley players, no? I would be slightly tempted to maybe risk Murillo, but there is obviously some risk that he just starts on the bench and comes off. Captain choice, Mateta, Haaland, Semenyo, Gakpo. Semenyo for me. Should I start perhaps Sarr or Caicedo? I think Sarr will start again. But I'm going to say Caicedo. I think he's definitely getting Defcons in that game, isn't he? He pretty much gets them in everyone. I've got the ultimate pointless trio, Mateta, Wood and Watkins. Why is that pointless? I mean, Mateta's at least scored a goal, I guess. Wood scored a couple of goals this year. How big do your nads have to be to triple captain Watkins? I think that's insane, to be honest. Kind of insane. Caicedo was awful against Bayern Munich. Yeah, but Man United, I hate to break it to people, Man United aren't quite as good as Bayern Munich. No Chelsea, that is correct, no Chelsea. Maybe I should have gone João Pedro over Evan Nielsen, especially when I had the exact money for it and now I can't afford it, but we'll see. We'll see. Do you feel it's necessary to get Chris Wood in? Not really. Gabriel, Porro, Van de Ven, Esteve, bench which two? Van de Ven and Porro, I think. If Watkins gets a couple of returns this weekend, do we keep him for Wildcard 6? No. Because after Game Week 7, you're not going to want him. I don't think. What do you think of free hitting a Haaland team out for a Salah team to get in Salah, Van Dijk, Wood and Watkins? I don't mind it, but I don't think many people are going to gain a huge amount from free hitting this week. But maybe Haaland, like if you've got a lot of City and a lot of Arsenal, that's maybe the kind of team that can get away with it. Do you think your growth in subscribers shows the increase in engaged managers over the years? Kind of, although it's worth saying, like, the subscribers go up, but the views don't necessarily go up massively with it. Like, I'm very happy with the amount of views I get, I've got to say. But, like, it's quite consistent over the last few years. It's not, like, massively growing. So it's like you're getting new subscribers, but other people are kind of stopping, if that makes sense. So the subscribers keep going up, but the views, like some YouTube channels, the subscribers and the views go up, like, quite a lot. With FPL, it's not really the case. Yeah, it's kind of... is right, and I'm more than happy with it. Honestly, I've said that before. I'm not complaining in the slightest. Final thoughts on Fulkrug as a bench boost option. I don't love it. I think there's a chance that Wilson could start. I think once Wilson is fully fit to start, I think he's going to be in ahead of Fulkrug. If you weren't a YouTuber, would your team be different? I mean, maybe, but I've done this for so many years now, it's really hard to know. I think when people say that, right, there's always like it's always like a loaded question, because what maybe you're not implying this, but what a lot of people like to imply is that you like play it safe. But when you say that, I'm picking players that start and will hopefully get points. Like, what's my strategy if I'm not a YouTuber? Like, pick players that I don't think will start or don't think will get points. And look, there is some times when I think if I didn't have to answer to thousands of people on a stream, maybe I would do this slightly differently. Or I don't know, but I don't think it'd be a massive change. Like, if I wasn't doing YouTube, would I be sat here with well, I wouldn't be sat here, right, in front of a computer, but would I have a massively different team? I'm not so sure, honestly. A fair bit of non-active subscribers on FPL channels. People tend to subscribe to anything these days. They move on to something else. Yeah, like it's just FPL churn, basically. I don't think there's much more to it than that. Bench boost, Dubravka, Esteve, King, and Anderson. Yeah. I think I would do that. Which one keeper and 3 defenders to start? Dubravka, Esteve, Lacroix. I probably wouldn't risk Murillo. Lacroix and Esteve and Porro, probably. You triple up on Man United? I definitely wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't. Why isn't Semenyo your vice captain when you have him third best captain? That's a good point. Good point. Benching headache is crazy. Would you play Munoz and Richards or bench one for Tosin? I really don't think that's much of a headache. I would definitely bench Tosin out of that. You wouldn't pick Bruno if you weren't... No, I'd probably pick Bruno. I'd get less comments about Bruno if I didn't do YouTube, that's for sure. -4 for Sarr to Semenyo to bench Haaland or Ekitike. Tom, no. Put the FPL down. Honestly, I really don't care about the early kickoff captain curse when the other captain options just aren't that great. People ask silly questions. Would you have Dewsbury Hall on your bench if Everton got relegated? I don't know. I do quite like him, so maybe. On free hit, 100.2 million. Alisson, nice. Van Dijk, nice. Anderson, nice. Milenkovic, interesting. I'm not sure about Milenkovic. Just because if Murillo's out, that weakens the Forest defence. And we're all expecting Forest defence to be slightly worse under Ange anyway. So I'm not quite sure about that. But if your next question is who would you go for instead, that's a good question. I don't know. And maybe double Fulham. Palmer, Anderson, Semenyo, Salah captain, Mateta, João Pedro, Gyökeres, anything you change? Yeah, Milenkovic probably. Although please don't come back to me if he scores a goal. And João Pedro, is João Pedro better than Evan Nielsen this week? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not. I mean, this will be famous last words, and you'll be all telling me about this on Sunday. I'm not that worried about having Evan Nielsen over João Pedro this week, although you could definitely argue Chelsea got the easier fixture. But I wouldn't see it as I don't see any of those picks as problems. Put it that way. Do I play Ekitike? I'll take a -4 to move him out. You probably just play Ekitike, I think, rather than take the -4. Yeah, it's a good team, Griffith. Honestly, there's nothing there. Like, you know, sometimes you see a team and you think, oh, I definitely would not pick that player. Like, I'd maybe make 1 or 2 tweaks, but that's just preference. It's not because they're bad picks. Abby Manu, 26 months. Thank you. Cunha, TJ, JP. Who's TJ? JP is João Pedro, obviously. Tijani Reinders. I'd bet. Honestly, I think you've got to play Reinders over Cunha because you know he's going to start. But I'd be really tempted to punt Cunha. Verts Wood, captain 1. Oh God, probably Wood over Watkins, just about maybe. Everton keeping a clean sheet's going to hit like crack. Do you know I'd take 3 points off Dewsbury Hall? Start 3: Van Dijk, Paro, Cucurella, Nico Williams, Juve. Van Dijk's obvious. I can't see how anyone's thinking about benching him. And then Juve's so attacking. Juve and Nico Williams, I think. I do think people are underrating Everton slightly. Do you know what? Honestly, I know they've got a few clean sheets already, but I actually think maybe the Everton defence is going to be slightly worse this season, and maybe the attack's going to be great. Not great. You know, that's a bit excessive, but I think the attack's going to improve. The defence I'm not quite so sure about. So, yeah, maybe they get some results. Percentage chance of a Murillo start, I would probably put it quite low, 25-30. Sorry, my wife is just sending me a picture of our dog. Looks like she's actually walked a bit this morning. My dog, has anyone else got a golden retriever that's just stubborn? Like, some days she just will not walk. And she has had a couple of issues recently we've had to take her to the vets for, but that's starting to clear up. And there are just some days where she'll just go out and she'll walk like 3-4 kilometers, no problem. And then other days she'll go 1, like round a block, and then sometimes she just doesn't want to walk. Anyway, sorry. Being distracted with pictures of my dog. Bench boost, Dubravka, Grealish, Matoma, Reinildo. I think yes, but again, you'd have to look at the next few weeks to see. I think I would bench boost that. Yeah. In Burma, we're in for Barnes for the next 3. Barnes probably starts, I would say, for Newcastle. I quite like Burma for the next 2, but I don't know if I would make that move this week. I don't hate it. I think Burma will start getting looked at a bit more next couple of weeks, maybe. A good bench with Van der Ven, Dubravka, Tosin, and Guiu have 2 transfers and will wildcard in 6. Should I transfer Guiu to Meniz for bench boost? Yeah, I probably would upgrade him if you're going to bench boost. Meniz should probably start. I don't think you can ever be shocked if Raul Jimenez starts instead, but I'm pretty sure Meniz will start. Dubravka, Senesi, Chalobah, Lyle Foster. Oh, Lyle Foster, nice. Yes, I think I'd probably bench boost that. Should I transfer out Ekitike? I think long term you're definitely going to have to transfer him out. I think you can maybe keep him this week though. Start Tosin or Paro. Paro for me. Sells Dubravka, Tarkovsky. Should I bench boost? What's your bench there? Dewsbury Hall, Tarkovsky probably. I think that's an okay bench. I think it's Dewsbury Hall, Tarkovsky, Dubravka. Yeah, I'd probably bench boost. It's not great, but Tarkovsky should get defensive contributions, right? Is it crazy to keep Salah, no Haaland, and stick to 3, hit 6, wildcard 13? No, that is not crazy. It could absolutely do well. Like, people are always so quick just to write off one player and like say that another player is essential. It might be, right? I might do Salah to Haaland. It might be the best move I make all season. I'll hope it is. But I would not be surprised if Mohamed Salah scores a few goals and gets a few assists this season. You know, that's my hot take. Salah's going to get a few goals and a few assists. Best weeks to bench boost after this week. Probably game week 8 for a lot of people. But it depends which players you got. If Salah goes nuclear today, will you consider keeping him? Not really, because then Haaland's got Burnley at home next week. And Salah doesn't. Is Watkins a captaincy option this week? I think he is, depending on who else you've got. Like, I don't think I'd have him in the top 3. Maybe not the top 4 either. On bench boost, wildcard 6. I have 2 free transfers. Can you suggest 1 week punts to replace Guillaume and Palmer? I would not use a transfer to sell Palmer. Unless you need the money, I guess. If you need the money, fair enough. I really would try and not sell Palmer. He's a pretty good fixture this week. Gakpo, Semenyo. I would go Semenyo and Evan. Semenyo and Wood, I guess. I'm guessing you have to sell Palmer for the money. Honestly, if you got a bit of money in the bank, I would rather do Guiu to like a Muniz or a Calvert-Lewin even. Someone like that as a 1 week punt and save the other transfer rather than use both, just a bench boost. My team's now worth 101.2 million. Is that good in the grand scale of things? It's probably quite good, yeah. I mean, mine's only just over 100. There's people under 100 still. Shesko is 7.3. What if he scores 2 today? If he scores 2 today, I probably will not buy him next week, I would say. If he scores a hat-trick, we'll talk. I'm ready to bench boost this game, but I have Murillo. I wouldn't bench boost Murillo. Oh, that's an interesting question, though. Do you just go to an Arsenal defender? Calafiori. What's the... There's going to be quite a few clean sheets this week. If you can get Van Dijk, I would go Van Dijk instead of Arsenal. I'm just looking at the clean sheet odds. Jesus, there's not many goals expected this week. I think Rob said that this is. I think he said something like this is the lowest projected. This is the lowest week for projected goals since like April 2023 or something. Yeah, Arsenal not that. I mean, Arsenal are fairly high given they're playing Man City, but there's teams higher. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably go Van Dijk if you can afford him instead of an Arsenal defender. I kind of wish I'd gone for Gabriel and Wildcard over Van Dijk, but this week I'm glad I've got Van Dijk. Bench boost to Bravka. Your crash is not on your bench. Come on. Come on. There's no way you're benching your crash. So come on. Come back to me with a proper bench and then we'll talk. Luke, how's it going? Luke, the king of Man City info. Luke told me that Reinder's never going to score again. No goals, no assists for the rest of the season. And he would know. I have 1 role and was planning to take out Kukurea to Van Dijk or Lacroix. Also debating to take a -4. I wouldn't take a -4. Defender transfer if you want, fair enough. But Kukurea is okay this week. We don't prefer Watkins for captaincy against Sunderland. Have Villa been so terrible or just unlucky? I think Watkins is okay, but I don't think he's as good as like Salah, for example. And Semenyo, if he's got penalties, is also really good as well. Yeah, I can get Gabriel later, but I'm not sure I want to spend the transfer. We'll see. I might do the Haaland switch in 6 and then get Gabriel in 7. I don't know if I want to sell Van Dijk. That's the problem. So I can afford to do like Goodmanson or Anderson to Gabriel, but then it kind of stops me getting Palmer without selling Haaland again. Whereas I think I want to keep the money to be able to do Bruno to Palmer. Is bench boost really necessary this game week given the setup for this year? Is it to have a relatively decent bench? Also, the fixtures don't stand out. I mean, it's not necessary if your bench is not very good. No. Simple as that. Just a lot of people happen to have good benches this week. Or benches they can get away with bench boosting with. I can do Salah, Gakpo and Evan Nielsen to Haaland, Palmer in a 6.5 million mid for free. Oof. I don't know if I would do it straight after the deadline. At least wait for the matches today and see what the price changes are like later on. But that is a really nice move for free. By the way, I can get Haaland and Palmer next week as well, but it would take me a -4. I have looked at that. So Evan Nielsen, Mateta and Salah to Palmer, Haaland and Guiu. Because I have my bench boost out of the way. I hate taking -4s. But I could do that. I could just get Palmer and Haaland in one swoop and be done with it. Dubravka, Van der Ven, Porro and Rodri, good bench boost. Yeah, assuming Rodri starts, which I think he will because it's Man City. I don't know how many minutes he'll get, though. Rodri, interesting. I'd probably bench boost that, yeah. Enjoy or Reinders. Or bench boost with Dorgu or Steven Dubravka. Enjoy over Reinders for me. Tempted-ish to bench boost that. Sels have the same bench as you. Would you roll? Keep Sels, Van der Ven, Anderson, Fulham, Anderson, Forest, Semenyo. I mean, that team looks pretty good. I mean, Isak, I'm not sure he's going to start, but I don't know if I would sell him because he might be fine from next week. So yeah, I'd probably roll. Is João Pedro a captain option? What's your options? Yes, I guess. It depends who else you've got. Should I go for Xavi or Szoboszlai or Caicedo and Gakpo? I mean, long term, I don't really like either, I guess. How much is Szoboszlai? Is he not the same price as Caicedo? I don't know how much he is. Szoboszlai. Oh, he's 6.5. He's even more expensive. Would you not go Caicedo and Xavi? Or am I missing something? On Rage Wildcard 5 bench boost 8, Anderson versus Agbadou. Well, Agbadou's better for your bench boost than 8. But Anderson's probably better from 10 onwards. Dewsbury Hall versus Cullen. I'd probably stick to Dewsbury Hall, but he's playing Man City away that week. Just so you know. Thoughts on the best 7 million or below midfielder? Xavi Simons, I think, is pretty good. Otherwise, maybe Njai from next week, possibly. Do you think Kudus gets benched this week after playing 90 every game? Probably not. Who to start? Van der Ven, Esteve or Juve? I'm going to say Juve out of those. I think Porro will start, by the way. But yeah, Juve. Juve. Why are we not talking about Harvey Elliott starting against Sunderland? I don't know, really. You tell me. I have 3 Bournemouth. Is it bad to start all 3? I mean, do you have better alternatives? If no, play all 3. Saturday kickoff curse after a Wednesday evening game versus Atletico. I think I'm captain in Semenyo. Good luck. UK office or US office? I haven't really watched the US office properly or enough to say that one. But the UK office for me is like one of my favourite shows. So I got to stick to the UK. But I think if I gave the US one a serious chance and like got past the first season, I think it probably gets a lot better. Dubravka, Larson, Tarkovsky and Spence, good bench boost. Larson might not play. Oh, sorry, Larson might not start. And with Spence, did Spence start in the Champions League? Because if he did, Udogie could come in, right? So I'm not sure I would bench boost that. US is clear of the UK. Nah. I don't think... I honestly... My bias is too much. I don't think I could go in and have my mind changed. I just don't think I could. The UK office is so good. Liam, thank you. US is clear of the UK. Are we still talking about the office? Let's not get into that. Would you bench boost Sanchez, Esteve, Dewsbury Hall and Porro? I would... Well, probably yes, because I think if I hadn't wildcarded last week, that probably would have been my bench this week, and I think I would have played it, so yes. Am I moving to the US? No, I don't think so. Kirkes or Frimpong on free hit? Kirkes, I guess. I would just get Van Dijk, though, I think. Tijani Reinders or Kevin De Bruyne? I mean, Tijani Reinders is the second coming of Lionel Messi, so I've got to go Reinders. How crazy is Vert's captain versus Everton? I wouldn't put it as a crazy pick. Put it that way. Top 3 favorite TV show? Oh, I don't know. Like the thing is, like, it's like when FPL Harry put out the top 5 games. Like, there's different criteria, right? Sometimes you've got to put a game in the list because of how much you've played it. But you might have like really enjoyed playing a game for like a short space of time. Like It's the same with TV shows. Like, I mean, even now, sometimes when it's on TV, I still watch Only Fools and Horses. Like, it's so good. Would it be in my top 3? Like, I'd have to give that some serious thought. Friday night dinner, I'm not for me. Not for me. Considering I've watched it a bit, it just never really drew me in. Considering the Salah to Palmer today or tomorrow, Salah's not going to drop in price, by the way, tonight. The question: Salah to Semenyo, Mateta to Haaland, or Salah to Palmer, Mateta to Haaland, Verts to a 6.6 or below for a hit. Yeah, I'm on a similar thing where I could get Palmer for a hit. I'm probably not going to take the hit. But you're selling Vert, so I'd be a little bit tempted to do it because he just feels a bit rubbish. But you might feel better after the game. I probably wouldn't take the hit in most situations, but I don't hate it. Captain Isak or Semenyo. I mean, how sure are we that Isak's starting? I'm not sure at all, so I would captain Semenyo. Watkins captain. Again, it depends on your other options. He's okay, but he probably doesn't make the top 3 or 4. Why'd you guys start Paquetá? Like, what do you guys see in him? I don't know. Defcons, penalties, the odd attack and return, 90 minutes. Some people saying Verts might get benched. I'm telling you now, people have been saying Verts might get benched since game week 2. And so far, they've been wrong 100% of the time. I think I'm going to risk Fulcrum gets minutes. Well, he'll definitely get minutes. I don't really have too many doubts about that. I just don't think he starts necessarily. I've not watched the Traitors. Honestly, I'm playing a lot of World of Warcraft at the moment, so I'm not watching too much TV. Like in the evenings, I'm playing a lot of games instead of watching TV, so I'm not watching much recently. Nothing new anyway. I did start... what did I start on Netflix recently? Oh, the Night Agent Season 2, but again, I've not finished it. It's like one of those shows you just... It's fine to watch. There's not really any depth to it, but it's fine. Start Verts in Jai or bench one. Mateta, Watkins, João Pedro. I would bench in Jai out of those. Bench boost with Larson and Dango. Probably not. By the way, someone asked earlier, like, is it necessary to bench boost this week? It's absolutely not, right? So you're saying bench boost Larson and Dango Tara, 2 free transfers, but want Salah to Haaland in 6. Just don't use your bench boost and make the transfers next week and figure it out later on. You've still got 14 weeks after this to use your bench boost. It will happen at some point. And if you get to the end, at the end of the first half of the season, you've just got to use it on some rubbish, so be it, you know? Dubravka, Sanchez, Senesi, Gay, Van... Okay. Worthy of a bench. What's your actual bench, though, out of those? Dewsbury Hall plus, like, 3 others. I mean, probably looking at those players, most of them are pretty good, so I think so, but it depends what your actual bench is. Captain Salah or Haaland. Salah. Is Enjoy the best 6.5 million midfielder from 6? I think just because of penalties, I prefer into Mitoma and Minter, but those 2 Brighton players are also pretty good, and Minter's cheaper. Bench boost Dubravka, Reinders, Tosin, Esteve. Probably. Captain Yorkresh, Semenyo, or really risk it with Watkins. I would go Semenyo. Dubravka or Sanchez. Dubravka. Even if you didn't have him Burmo, to be honest with you. Classic anniversary retail. Bench 1 of Cucurella, Porro, Nico Williams, or Cash. Bench 1. Is Cucurella more attacking than Porro now? Maybe. I'm going to say Cucurella, though. Zubimendi, definitely essential, yes, 100%. Do you think De Kuiper will start? I think he's been past fit, right? Someone tell me if I'm wrong. Or maybe not, actually. Yeah, no, probably not. Yeah, he's a doubt. Yeah, I just seen that. On the bench, Sells, Nico Williams, Tosin, Guiu, 6 million in the bank. Oof. I mean, if you're going to replace Guiu, then yeah, you should bench boost, I think. Put it this way, if you don't sell... Sorry, if you sell Guiu, why would you not be bench boosting, right? 6 million in the bank. I mean, it depends how long term you need it, right? If you're wildcarding soon, I'd go like Evan Nielsen probably. If you're not, then maybe João Pedro. Yorkresh, also really good option. Will using a wildcard give me my free transfer back? The week after you wildcard, you have as many free transfers you had before you wildcarded. If that makes sense. 1 roll, bacon or sausage. Sausage. On wildcard, keep Nico Williams or bring in Gabriel. Gabriel every day of the week. Start Wood or Yorkresh. You're correct, but you should start both. Start one, Beto, King, Nico Williams. Beto, oh no, Beto's, yeah, King probably. Bench boost, Dubravka, Njai, Reinders, and Estev. It's okay, but Liverpool away and Arsenal away. I got to be honest, if I had that and I hadn't used my wild card, I'd probably do it to get it done before the wild card. But there might be a time down the road where you wild card and there's a perfect bench boost. We just haven't seen it yet. So, what are you having / had for breakfast? Porridge, chocolate orange protein powder, and banana. Maybe some blueberries if there's any left. Pretty much daily thing. Would you captain Wood if you had double Nottingham Forest defence? I'm not really sure how that correlates, if I'm completely honest. Tosin and Estev in defence. Who's better goalkeeper, Sanchez or Dubravka? Dubravka. Oh, you got Wood up front and Fernand. Oh, God. Probably Dubravka then. Bench 2, Larson, Dango, Dewsbury, Van der Ven. I mean, the first two might not start. Is there any Brentford fans in? Do you think Utara plays? Would you still bench boost with one doubtful player, Strand Larson? If the rest of the bench was really great, maybe, but probably not. It feels wrong to do that. I just think at some point that you will get a bench, which is fine. If you didn't bench boost, would your 11 stay the same? Yeah, of course. I always play with a realistic bench. In my opinion, a realistic bench. Anyway. Anyone else lost the plot on captain in Bruno? I mean, he was my vice captain until about 30 minutes ago. Bench boost to Bravka, Van der Ven, Reinders, Livramento. Yes, probably. Oh, yeah, sorry. The Larson, Utara, Dewsbury Hall, Van der Ven. I'd probably risk Utara and play Van der Ven, I think, in your case. One free transfer, 8 Nori or Murillo to Anderson or Van Dijk. Well, Murillo's a doubt, but it wasn't completely ruled out. So I guess he's going to be back for game week 6. So in that case, I would sell 8 Nori. And I would probably get Van Dijk. I think he's going to be better for you over the next few weeks. Why am I so keen to get rid of bench boost? I've just wildcarded. So, like, why would I delay it? Bench boost, Dubravka, Thiago, Van der Ven, Goodmanson. Yes. I think so. But I feel like I've got to keep clarifying this. You don't have to bench boost this week, by the way. It's not essential to bench boost in game week 5. You will probably have other options down the line. You don't have any of the top 3 captaincy picks on the graphic. I know. I did think this week of all weeks, I need to get like 6 players there. I'd probably go. I'm not sure who I prefer out of Wood and Watkins. I'd probably go Wood next, then Watkins. Bench boost with Dubravka, Truffaut, Elliott, Gabriel. Yes. Although, is Gabriel really on your bench? I remember everyone making fun of you for recommending Thiago, and now Thiago is cooking. Yeah, a few people didn't like the pick, but like, to be honest with you, there's always going to be people that don't like every pick you mention. I mean, partly I liked him because he's cheap and penalties. Then he didn't take the second penalty, so who knows if he's got them back, right? But under Strand Larson, he probably does look like the best pick going forward. But they've got, like, they could play Sharda, Utara, and like Reece Nelson at some point. But I'm pretty sure Thiago will keep playing. I just wouldn't have him down as 100% nailed. And I did think about him on Wildcard, but I just didn't really like the fixtures. But, you know, down the line, I might go back to him. If Strand Larson can get fit, he's a really good option as well. Is using a transfer on someone like Dewsbury Hall for a 1-week punt worthwhile when planning Wildcard 6? Maybe because it's Liverpool away, yes. But generally, I'd rather roll the transfer and just be in a stronger position going into Wildcard. Like, if you had money to go to Semenyo, then yeah, you probably just use the transfer. But if it's just Dewsbury Hall to like Harvey Elliott, I guess Harvey Elliott is better and will probably start, but doesn't sound great. Mateta captain, yeah. I think Wood, Watkins, Mateta are all pretty much of a muchness. Mateta on penalties, maybe puts him ahead of Watkins. Captain Palmer or Semenyo, probably Palmer, but it's quite close. Start Konza or Van der Ven. Konza. Thoughts on Gakpo? Is he going to start? Probably, yeah. I'd be a little bit surprised if he doesn't. Sanchez, Dewsbury Hall, Goodmanson, Caicedo, worthy of a bench boost. I mean, I'm bench boosting Goodmanson. I would have bench boosted Sanchez this week if I hadn't wildcarded. Caicedo's probably a 3 or 4 pointer for you. And I'm bench boosting with Dewsbury Hall, so probably, yeah. Again, though, will you have a better one soon? Have you wildcarded? If you haven't wildcarded, are you happy to put a bench boost out after wildcard? Or do you want to get rid of it before? If you're getting rid of it before, when are you wildcarding? And in those weeks, will you have a better bench? You've got to think about these things. Because of the double chips and obviously the way... and because it's a single game week and stuff like that, I can't sit here and say, well, there's a double coming up. Maybe you should wait for that. You just have to look at whether your team will be better. People have got different setups. Do you know what? I haven't actually looked if I've got a better bench in future weeks, but there's no way. I'm not even thinking about that. I don't want to. I just want to use it this week. Now I've set up for it. Bench boost Sanchez, Dewsbury Hall, Tyson, Beto. I don't know. 2 Man United away and 2 Liverpool away. That feels a bit rubbish. Beto should start though, right? Yeah, I don't know about that one. Surely you'll have a better bench soon, no? Will Isak and Haaland become meta eventually? I mean, Haaland will next week, I think. Isak, maybe. Let's wait and see. Isak maybe more so when Salah goes to AFCON, because then someone's got to take penalties, and it'll probably be Isak. Although they've got a lot of good penalty takers. Isak, McAllister. Is Szoboszlai good at them? I feel like he is. Are we going to get early Liverpool team news? Probably not, but we can see. I don't know if we get much early Liverpool team news. Can you do a free hit draft? I spoke about that in the Game Week preview video if you want to check that out. Bench Cucurella or Grealish? I'd probably play Grealish if it was me. Would you captain Semenyo or would Semenyo? Szoboszlai was on them for Leipzig. Nice. Start Caicedo or Tavernier? Tavernier. Go for it. Is Kudus a worthwhile 1 week punt or stick with Dewsbury Hall and save the transfer? I feel like I would save the transfer, honestly. Do I play FPL Draft? I haven't played this season, but I kind of wish I had. I quite like Draft. Why are people not waiting for double game weeks for bench boost? Because we probably won't get a bench... we might get one, but it's not that likely, I don't think. So we probably won't get a double game week in the first half of the season. We've got double chips now. So you've got a bench boost first half of the season and second half. If Salah explodes today, would you still swap? Yes. I'm having Haaland for game week 6 one way or another. The only thing that might change is that I get cold feet and I free hit 6, but I suspect I'm making the swap. Honestly, this is the same conversations we had in pre-season. Anytime someone said, are you not worried about Haaland? I knew Haaland was going to score goals. I know if I sell Salah, he's going to score goals. Right? The reason I have Salah now is because he's got Everton at home. The reason I want Haaland next week is because he's got Burnley at home. So if Salah scores a hat-trick today, great. Good fixture. I'm still going to back Haaland, right, in game week 6. I could, of course, just free hit. But I don't know. What I need to give some thought to today or tomorrow is if I free hit, how easy it is to get Palmer in my team. I think it makes it... Because... One thing I quite like about the Salah-Haaland swap is I get Reinders instead of Mateta. Now, Mateta's still a good pick, but it saves over $1 million, and that just makes it easier to get Cole Palmer. And later on, I can just swap back. And by the time I want, if I want to swap back Haaland to Salah, I can go for a cheaper forward because I've got my bench boost used. If that makes sense. So, I don't care what Salah does this week. I know Salah's a good pick. That's why I've got him. But Haaland's a better pick from next week. For 2 weeks. And then in game week 8, it all changes again, maybe. Rodgers or Gibbs-White for my free hit for game week 5. Loving your content. You come across very well. I'm not sure about that, but thanks. Rodgers or Gibbs-White? I'm going to say Gibbs-White. I don't know why, though. I really don't know why, but that's what I'm going for it. I'm going for Gibbs-White. Have 8.1 from a midfielder for a 1 week punt. Wildcard game week 6 already have Semenyo. Any suggestions? 8.1. Sorry, I'm just getting the fixtures up. 8.1. So you can't go verts. There's someone I'm going to miss here. Matoma. Gibbs-White. Matoma, Gibbs-White. You can't go Palmer. Man United and Burmo. Feels a bit rubbish, doesn't it? I don't know. Eze? Mitoma, maybe? Mitoma or Gibbs White? Feels a bit rubbish, though. Yeah, I'd almost just like say the transfer. Bench one of Anderson, Porro, Williams, Konza, Porro. What's the better play? Use 2 free transfers on Salah and Watkins to Semenyo and Haaland in 6, or wait until 7 and use 3 free transfers. Murillo, Gakpo. I think because of captaincy, I just want to get Haaland in, probably. Would you captain Semenyo this week or Haaland? Probably Semenyo. How many points am I expecting my bench to return? Probably about 8 to 10. If I get more than that, happy days. The question was more about free hit versus... The problem with free hitting now for my team is, like, when you see my team for game week 6, it's just pretty good. Like, the defense is not perfect, but the rest of the team is fine. So it makes it harder to justify using it. And also, we've apparently got potential for like a blank and maybe a double in the first half of the season. And so do I want to have all my chips blown for that? Probably not. Chances of Richarlison starting this week or bench? I think he'll start. Solanke's back on the grass now, but he's not going to play. Or he's definitely not going to start. So I think Richarlison will be up front. Salah or Semenyo for Cat. Salah's the best option this week for me on paper. Like, I don't even know if it's that close either. Maybe because it's 12:30 after a Champions League game, you could say it is quite close between Salah and Semenyo. But put it this way. If the game wasn't 12:30 and it was 3 p.m. and I know it is 12:30, fair enough, you want to take that into account. But let's say it was 3 p.m. Would you be so unsure as to whether to captain Salah? I don't think so, right? The Dewsbury Hall goal on bench boost will hit like crap. Honestly, I would love nothing more than my Van Dijk clean sheet to be wiped out than Dewsbury Hall. And actually, I said earlier, one of my favourite moments of this season is Reinders blanking 3 games in a row. I take that back. My favourite moment might be Dewsbury Hall 12-pointer. Was it a 12-pointer? I think it was. Oh, yeah, did that one. Who should I start? Livramento, Munoz, Van der Ven, Senesi. Munoz and Senesi for me. Really, is it close? Newcastle have the best defensive numbers. From who? Not in the league. They've also just played Barcelona on Thursday. Bournemouth are also probably top 5 attack in the league. Probably. Why are 12:30 kickoffs an issue? They're not really. Like, people just have this. Basically, anytime someone blanks in the 12:30 kickoff, people just use it as an excuse to not. I mean, look, part of the reasoning is you've got a quick turnaround from Wednesday to Saturday, and then you're playing in the earliest game. But basically, people use it as an excuse to not captain players they don't want to captain, is the reality of it. You'll hear a lot less about the 12:30 curse this week because it's Salah and because there's not many good alternatives. I'm telling you now, I don't know, who have people got in their team? Haaland's about it. No, maybe Haaland's a good example. If Haaland had like a slightly better fixture, even like Newcastle away, let's say he had that this week and Salah had Everton at home 12:30, you'd be hearing so many people talk about the 12:30 kickoff because they want to captain Haaland over Salah. But yeah, you won't hear about it today because people don't really want to go against Salah because there's no one else. I've not done the research. Maybe there is a trend to say that 12:30 has less goals or something. I don't know. But I've captained many players at 12:30 and they've done really well before, so I don't really care. How does Paquetá rank in your bench rankings? He's probably quite close to the top, I would say. Ahead of most of the defenders, for sure. What's your current plan to get Haaland in 6? Free hit or most likely Salah to Haaland? Would you bench boost with Gakpo and Ekitike in your team? I think they both start, so yes. Is there a chance Isak starts captain Gamble? There is no way I would captain Isak this week. Is there a chance? Sure. I think it's quite low. Why Paquetá over Senesi? Have both and I'm in between. Just because of fixture, and I guess because Paquetá's still an attacker. But do you know what? I think it's fair to question that. Because Senesi has got an okay chance of a clean sheet. And he's really good for defensive contributions. But Paquetá can also get them. And he's on penalties. It feels bad to bench him. But yeah, I think it is probably close. But I've not... I guess because I'm on bench boost, I've had to give it less thought. But I'm pretty sure if I wasn't on bench boost, I would play Paquetá. Please rate my wildcard 6. Oh my god, I've not even thought about wildcard 6 yet. Raya, good. Dubravka, Gabriel, Richards, Anderson. Anderson's not great between 6 and 9, by the way, but he's okay long term. Palmer, Xavi, Semenyo, Reinders, Dewsbury Hall, Haaland. Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. Nothing wrong with that. I think Haaland, João Pedro, Gyökeres will be in pretty much everyone's wildcard 6. Would you start Gabriel or Van de Ven? I would start Gabriel. What's your... Oh, you did that on bench 1. Xavi, Simons, Paquetá, Gabriel. Maybe Paquetá out of those. Oh, yeah. I hate benching Gabriel. Need to play one of Ruta or Anderson. Thoughts? I'd probably play Ruta. Should start, right? Maybe even plays number 9. On wildcarding this week, should I bring Eze in? I'm not sure if I would go for Eze. I'd rather go double defense, I think. Presuming you're picking Gyökeres. If you're not, then I guess you got a free spot you could do for it. Go for it. Start Bruno or Wirtz. Bruno, of course. Come on. Start Strand, and Porro or Esteve. Esteve, I think. Have I been watching the track and field worlds? Nope. Start one of Marlon, Dunk, or Juve. Juve, I think. Just because Marlon probably won't start. Sorry, Andy, but as a Man United fan myself, I've gone with João Pedro, Caicedo, and Enzo at the expense of better players on the bench. I think Man United will turn up for 30 minutes, then fold again. Man United are going to win. We're going to win. Somehow that Man United defence is going to stop João Pedro the inevitable scoring. I think Gakpo will get pretty good minutes, 75 to 80 plus this week. Purely because I think Ekitike will start and Isak will come on for him. Considering Sarr and Kukurea to Gakpo and Senesi, not sure who... The problem is Gakpo's longer term minutes might be a little bit more iffy. Otherwise you go cheaper, right? Gakpo's probably fine, but I don't know if I'd buy him as a long-term pick, honestly. Xavi Simons you could look at. You could look at Njai, although it's not great to buy him this week. Reinders, but it's not great to buy him this week. João Pedro or Salah as captain. Come on now. Come on. Mo Salah. Play Porro or Gay / Bruno Fernandes. I would play Bruno Fernandes over both of them. Despite him playing left back. Bench Saliba, Gabriel, Konza or Frimpong. I think Saliba's going to start, so I'm going to say Frimpong because I'm less sure about him starting. Who would you start with? Bruno, Cunha and Burma on wildcard 6, leave money in the bank, then move to... No, I would just start with Palmer. I think with DEFCON, we need to get over this idea of starting all attackers over defenders. Yes, but it depends on who the choices are. Like, that's why I said, when I actually got asked and thought about it a bit more, Paquetá versus Senesi is probably quite close. But oh, by the way, okay, DEFCON's definitely makes it easier to start defenders. But there's been times in the past where maybe we should have played like 4-4-2 or 4-3-3. But yeah, I definitely think there's times over the next few weeks where I'm going to play a defense that doesn't look quite as good as it normally would, but because of DEFCONs, it's probably okay. Bench boost, Verbruggen, Esteve, Juve, Reinders. Probably. Will you have a better bench over the next few weeks? If not, do it. Why say free transfer if we're playing a chip next game week? You don't have to, but when you play wildcard now, your transfers get saved through it. So it's quite a strong position to be in to change your team and then still be flexible enough to make some moves if you need them later on. The big at the back era of Cancelo, Trent, Robertson. Those are the days. Reece James. Those are the days. That's what I was trying to say on the video the other day. DEFCON, by the way, I've noticed over the last few weeks, I've got more, I don't know if it's comfortable, but it's just like, it's not habit's the wrong word, natural, I guess, of saying DEFCONs. Before I was saying defensive contributions and writing DEFCONs, but now I'm saying DEFCONs and people seem to be okay with it. I'm not getting moaned at very much, which is nice. Yeah, I think DEFCONs have definitely changed how we view defenders, and it's probably the one thing to look at right now. But I do think that a lot of that is because we just don't have many attacking defenders right now. If we still had like the Trent and Robertson back in the day, Cancelo, etc., maybe the landscape would be a little bit different, but it's not. So we just play what's in front of us, and right now, that is DEFCON Central. Callum, did you get did not get the change in time last week. Oh, you were wildcarding really late, or you were drunk or something, right? Something like that. I can't remember. Would you bench boost Dubravka, Porro, Lacroix, Senesi? Wait, what? What's the bench though? I'm confused because you put you got Sanchez. Oh, Sanchez, Grealish, Juve, and Goodmanson. Right, sorry. I'd be tempted to do it unless your bench is going to look better over the next few weeks. I gotta keep saying that. I don't know what else to say. Like by the way, I can't. I'm not gonna like if you show me 4 players and a whole team. I can't work out off the top of my head whether you're going to have a better bench in future weeks. You're going to have to go and look it up. Do I transfer Bruno for Palmer? I've got 3 free transfers. Yeah, I'd be tempted to do that. I think I would definitely prefer Palmer this week and next week. Yeah. Start Cunha or Esteve. Esteve, I think. Yeah, keep Dubravka. Buy Simons or Paquetá or Rodgers to replace Sarr. Simons, I think. And playing Cunha or Sell instead of him. Well, I mean, Cunha will be back next week, right? If he's available this week, he'll probably start next week. It's Brentford away, Sunderland at home in 7. So I'd sell Sarr. Like, Sarr's got Liverpool next week, even if he's back, right? Bench boost Dubravka, Esteve, Dorgu, and Reinders. Or hold for a better bench boost after wildcard 7. I'll be honest, I've not looked at wildcard 7 and how good the bench boost options are afterwards. I would just play it, I think. I think that looks good enough. Would you keep Bruno on wildcard 6 for Brentford away, Sunderland at home, then move to... I would just get Palmer. Like, you're going to want Palmer from 8, 9 onwards, and he's good in 6 as well. There's just no point in delaying that. It's just a waste of a transfer. Now, put it this way. I'm hoping, as someone that probably won't get Palmer till 8, that Bruno can match... I'm not even asking for him to outscore him. I'm just hoping Bruno can match Palmer in 6 and 7, because Palmer does have to play Liverpool. But honestly, the way Liverpool games have gone, like, defensively, not necessarily been completely at it. So Palmer might be fine. But yeah, I'm hoping Fernandes can match him, but the idea of not just getting Palmer just doesn't make much sense, I don't think. Wood as skipper is a bit of a differential. If you want to play differential, sure. You haven't got Salah. I'd go Semenyo personally, but I think out of the rest of your options, Wood's probably right up there. Bench boost Dubravka, Reinders, Livramento, Timber. Sure. Is that bench going to look better in the next few weeks? Like, Timber's fine. I would play Gabriel if I had him. Livramento's okay-ish. Reinders okay-ish. Dubravka's fine. Like, it's okay. I captained Kolarov. Jesus, is that long ago? And he got a yellow card in the 45th minute. It was subbed at half-time. That's the kind of attacking defenders we want, right? Kolarov was one of those players you always wanted in, but like, just because he always felt like he was going to be super attacking. He hardly ever seemed to get like a run or a proper run when you needed him. I'm going for Watkins captain. Is this worth the risk? I've got 3 Villa players. Well, what's your alternative? I wouldn't say Watkins is a risk, but it depends who the other options are. How am I getting Palmer in for game week 8? Maybe Fernandes to Palmer, but don't hold me to that. I haven't decided yet. I'm hoping that Haaland doesn't look like he's going up in price this weekend, so I can just delay my decisions. What do you mean defensively you haven't been at it? Did you see the first 3 games of the season? I mean, not Arsenal maybe. Not Arsenal to be fair, but Newcastle was pretty bad. Bournemouth wasn't great. If Salah to Semenyo, Mateta to Haaland, it gets tough to get rid of Wirtz to Palmer, becomes Bruno to Palmer, and Wirtz stuck for a while. Honestly, like, you don't want Wirtz, right? So just take the hit. I know, like, having seen you ask questions a lot now, I know you want to do the Wirtz move. Just do it. Honestly, I wouldn't necessarily be up for taking hits, but I think it's gonna make you prefer your team, and I think that will help you make better decisions in the long run. And once game week 6 is out of the way and that hit's done, you probably won't continue to feel bad about it. Wirtz will score today and it'll be FPL in a nutshell. I mean, Wirtz scoring would not be a shock, right? I think it's probably a slightly bigger shock he's got nothing so far. Is Callum Hudson-Odoi a pick entering this week? No, not really. Like, he was never fully nailed under Nuno. Do we know if he's going to be nailed under Ange? I really wouldn't go there. Dan, thank you. Can we please stop saying DEFCON because it sounds like AFCON? I think we're okay. I think people are okay with DEFCON. I've not been moaned at all for saying that. I mean, when I'm recording videos, I'll probably say defensive contributions. So I have a bit more time to think about it. But on streams, you've got to say it. Got to say it. No Liverpool team leaks. No. Crystal Palace clean sheet. Clean sheet. Hopefully. Missing out on some it worries me. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to you. I mean, can you bench Verts? Can you just hold on to him and bench him? Start Senesi or Van der Ven. Senesi definitely. Because if you could bench him, if you've got like defenders you could play instead, like Verts, Man United at home, game week 8. But you're probably gonna continue to lose the odd 0.1 here and there. If I had Ekatike, I would start him, yeah, but I would not buy him. Will the Liverpool game get postponed? Well, the Liverpool game kicks off in 2 hours, and we haven't heard anything about it being postponed yet, so I guess not. But maybe. Maybe. Right, I'm going to have a beer. Did you hear that? Just finished my football coaching this... Sorry. I don't know what I was expecting now. I thought you were going to make a joke. Anyway, just finished my football... I kind of half read on this morning and heard Salah is possibly not starting. Salah possibly not starting. That does sound quite likely, yeah. That guy hardly ever starts. It's not beer, of course not. It is a fantasy challenge Coke Zero Premier League can. Not sponsored. By the way, if Coke Zero do want to sponsor me, I'd happily take your money. I drink enough of this. In fact, just pay me in Coke Zero cans. I'll happily store them in the house for a bit. Yeah, anyway, to give a serious answer, I suspect that Mo Salah will probably start. 10 a.m. beer only at the cricket. Oh my god, cricket it's killed me sometimes drinking beer while watching it. The beer would have been a healthier start today. Oh my god, I hope that's a joke. I hope that's a joke. AZ member for 24 months. Thank you very much. Played Dubravka or Sanchez. Dubravka also played 2 of Anderson, Forrest, Gabriel, Thiago, Esteve, or use 1 free transfer with 2.2 banked. I don't think you need to make a transfer. Anderson and I hate benching. Anderson and Thiago, I think. You must be close to a bench boost, no? Should I bench boost? But what's your bench? Right, please just tell me what your bench is rather than the whole team. If you're thinking about bench boost. So it's probably Dubravka, Chalobah, Romero, and then one of the attackers. Probably yes, I probably would. Start 2 out of Dubravka, Vicario, Porro, Esteve. Dubravka, Dubravka and Esteve, I think. God, Spurs are going to keep another clean sheet, aren't they? João Pedro has scored 3 goals in his 5 games against Man United in the Premier League. Against no side has he scored more. There you go. There you go. Watch paint dry or cricket. Definitely watch cricket. In fact, the recent Test series, England versus India. Yeah, I think that was the last one, right? I wish I'd watched more of it. It was so good. Roll and get Haaland next week for Watkins and Mateta. Sounds good. Swapping Burmo to Semenyo or roll. No other issues. I'd be tempted to roll. I think Burmo is not bad next 2. Can you explain the reason behind bench boost? I've got an okay bench. I don't think it's going to get much better over the next few weeks. T20s are brilliant. Yeah, T20. I haven't watched a T20 match for a very long time, but Test match cricket, I fully I like it, but I'm also fully aware of why people don't like it. It can be super boring. Let's be real. You can play 5 days and just have a draw because of a bit of rain. It's annoying, but when Test cricket's good, it is pretty damn good. But I fully understand why people hate it. To be fair, FPL Raptor says he needs to see the whole team when people send him their bench and say, shall I bench boost? Look, I'm going to trust that people have got a realistic bench. I'll know if it's not a realistic bench most of the time. You see the whole team, it means you got to go through and work out the whole bench. It's just people already know what their bench is, so it's just easier to say, what's the bench? Should I bench boost this? Because if I see the whole team, it's not like I'm going to go, okay, but in game week 6, I'm just not going to be able to work that out, right? Even football can be boring sometimes. That is absolutely true. In hindsight, would a game week 1 bench boost have been better? Maybe. I do think there's quite a good chance I will use bench boost game week 1 next week because, next season. But I did think, had I gone bench boost game week 1, I probably wouldn't have had Dubravka and Estev. So then I probably wouldn't have played them in game week 2, and I got points for that. So I don't know if it was definitely better, but I think without going back and working who I might have gone for, how many points I would have right now, etc., I think yes, probably. Also, I might not have wildcarded either. I might still have my wildcard in hand. Because I would have probably just bought Semenyo and just left Strand Larson on the bench for the next few weeks. So yeah, potentially I should have gone bench boost game week 1. I'm hoping I'm not hoping, but I suspect they might get rid of double chips next year. I don't know if it's that good. I've captained Cunha. I don't think you're understanding me. My head is gone. It does sound like your head is gone, yeah. Would rather watch Test cricket over Fulham Brentford. That's probably fair enough. Raya or Dubravka, Senesi or Grealish. Raya and I'm going to say Senesi. Yeah, I getting rid of the bench boost in game week 1. I did see the logic at the time. Maybe I was just too invested into the 11 I wanted. I just couldn't make bench boost work. And I was hoping that Guiu would get minutes at Sunderland. Obviously, since then he's been recalled, so that didn't help either. Although I think I sell Gui. Oh God, sold Guiu before we knew he was going back to Sunderland. I think, although I can't quite remember, but I think I did. People saying the João Pedro stats should also know Chelsea haven't won at Old Trafford since 2013. Yeah, that's come up a few times, but it's a completely different team now, obviously for both, and you don't need to win to score. My partner is asking if she should transfer Ekitiko to João Pedro. I would keep Ekitiko 1 more week and then maybe do it from next week, possibly. Reading the all caps comments will encourage other chatters to also type in all caps, or am I overthinking? I think you might be overthinking because it's very rare that I answer questions that are in all caps. In fact, I'm scrolling up, I don't see any. Yeah. Unless I'm missing something. Oh, just had a text message. Something important, I'm sure. Maybe some early team news. 31.44 euro is scheduled to be drawn against your bank account for your recycling. There we go. 31 euro a month for recycling. And I can't even recycle my cans now. I got to take them back to the shop. Play 3. Richards, Anderson, Porro, Esteve, Murillo. For safety, I would bench Murillo, but I think he's going to start or just not be in the squad. But I'm going to say Anderson, Esteve, and Richards from the rest. Would you take a chance on Esteve and bench Munoz? No. Bench boost to Bravka, Esteve, Reinders, Enzo. Seems pretty good to me. Question becomes 6 to 8. Semenyo versus Palmer's the better option. You know that. You know that already. You pay for your recycling in the UK. I don't know. I don't live there. It's also just my normal bins as well. It's recycling and it's like garden / food waste bins and recycling. Would you play Dubravka or Verbruggen? Dubravka. Also pick from Porro, Esteve, or Williams. Can't bench boost because I have Guiu. I'd play Williams, then Esteve, then Porro. Good for bench boost, but played it already. Very nice. You would bench Gabriel. I can't remember what your original question was. I don't know if I can find it now. I think it was an attacker, right? It was an attacker over Gabriel. I think yes, but I don't like it. Throw those bins in the recycling. Life is too short to fill your house with cans to save 15 cents. Yeah, but the amount of cans I drink, You know, I could be getting 10, 15 quid back at a time. Is it mad to Captain Watkins? I don't think it's mad, no, but it depends who else you got. The Irish test, Dennis Irwin or Ian Hart. Dennis Irwin, Man United, you know. Ian Hart, though, that's the kind of player you would want in fantasy, right? Free kicks, penalties. Matty, 25 months, thank you. Would you play Dubravka or Verbruggen? I've done that one. Should I bench boost with Van der Ven, Reinders and Goodmanson? Probably yes. There's a lot of people going to bench boost and they're not quite sure about it. They're going to come back and shout at me. Please stop spamming your questions. I'll get to them as soon as I can. I probably wouldn't go for Eze, but sure, you can if you want. On wildcard, 4 million defender, stick with Leeds or Bogard. I think I'd probably go Leeds. Donnarumma or Raya. Haaland owner on free hit here to captain Salah. Would you go Fernandes and Yorkeresh or Palmer and Mateta? It's like 2 home versus 2 away, you know? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I've got to say Palmer, but I really want to say Fernandes and Yorkeresh. Palmer and Mateta, I think. Could change Grealish to make bench boost better. 1 in the bank, 6.9 million. Anyone in that price range could be better. The thing is, you've wildcarded, right? So I'd want to keep Grealish longer term. If you haven't wildcarded, maybe think about it. 6.9, Kudus maybe, something like that. It's not that exciting, I don't think. Elliot Anderson. But if you've already wildcarded, I'd be tempted just to bench boost with Grealish. I think Palmer is too early. Needs to play through the centre to be effective. I don't think that's the case, honestly. No question, but listening to you on a beach on the Amalfi Coast. Oof, nice. Nice. Why, would Irish people choose Ian Hart over Dennis Irwin, would they? Is it insane to captain Van Dijk over Bruno and Haaland? Not insane. Gakpo to Semenya means a -4 next week for Haaland. Probably not. Free hit team. I did one on the Game Week preview video if you want to check that out. How did you become a Man United fan in Bristol? How does that work in the UK when picking team? I'm just a glory hunter. Started watching football with my uncle. My uncle was supporting Man United. He also, by the way, is not from Manchester. Just kind of rolled from there. Could Larson start? Is he back? He could start. I think it's probably doubtful that he does, but he could. No, I'm a Coke Zero over Pepsi. Look, if Pepsi Max want to sponsor me, I'll take it. But if I'm choosing between the two, I'm taking a Coke Zero one every day. Coke Zero over Pepsi Max for me. Pepsi Max will never be able to sponsor me now because there's always someone out there. If I get sponsored by Pepsi Max, someone will come back and find this stream and clip it up. There's always someone out there that's got nothing better to do than do that. But yeah, Coke Zero, if you're watching, come on. Played Dubravka or sell 8 Nuri to help defence or hold the transfer for an extra free transfer after next week's wild card. I mean, Van der Ven's fine, Munoz is fine, and Milenkovic is good. Like, you do not need a transfer for that defence. I'd much rather save it. Irish test is not... No, don't test me on Irish things, please. Pepsi offer was about to come in until you said that. I know. Gutted. I mean, this would be perfect. Like, they're literally like sponsoring the Premier League and fantasy. Like, this is a fantasy challenge thing here. Like, come on, I'm the perfect person for this. I mean, I won't admit to exactly how much of this stuff I drink on a daily basis right now. I can tell you, if I said it, you'd think, Christ, that is just for sponsorship. But no, it's true. I watch rugby. Nah, not really. What do my parents do? What a question. More or less than 5 cans a day? No comment. no comment. I'd have to average it out. Start Senesi, Richards, or Josh King. Josh King. Gakpo for captaincy? Probably not. Again, like okay, so Tom, you've mentioned Gakpo and Watkins. I'd rather captain Watkins between the two. Over or under 2.5? Well, 2.5 cans would be like what? 800 milliliters. I would say more than. I drink a lot of water. I just also drink a lot of Coke Zero. I mean, I've already drank like a litre plus of water this morning. I'm not going to read that question out, but it did make me laugh. Would you take a punt on João Pedro captain? He probably wouldn't be in my top 5 this week. I have Pope, Dubravka, Van der Ven, Romero, Milenkovic in defence. Who would you bench? So I would play Dubravka. Oh, yeah, Dubravka for sure in goal. Then Milenkovic, Nico Williams, and Munoz. A lot of people are going to bench Spurs players. They're going to come back and shout at me when it goes wrong. Spurs defenders, that is. I've gone free hit this week. 62k overall, very nice, with Haaland. Is Isak worth the punt? I wouldn't do it. Isak and Hwang, or play it safe with Palmer and Meniz. I don't know if Meniz is that safe, but he probably will start. But yes, I would go the Palmer route, I think. Options for Verts. Foden from next week, maybe. And Burmo, possibly. Down to Xavi Simons, someone like that. Go super cheap, like Reinders for the long term, maybe. Elliot Anderson, if you want someone good for this week who's cheap. Is the plan to hand this stream over to your son? No, not really. Expected cans per 90. Expected cans per 24 hours. It's vodka, not water. Oh, no. Can't be dealing with vodka. Do you think I'll ever get an Irish accent? Probably not. I think rather than the accent, there's just certain words or phrases that you start saying without realizing you're saying it that are like more that you would hear in Ireland rather than England. So, like, as an example, I'm not going to be able to think of it. I can't think of an example off the top of my head. But there's like certain things I say, I think, oh, that's because I've lived here for like 10 plus years. Getting an accent, I highly doubt it. Best Guinness in Galway. Yeah, what's the crack? I don't really say that, to be honest. I usually just answer with, no, sorry, any crack is what people say. I was like, no, I'm crackless. Best Guinness in Galway. I don't know really. Just anywhere is probably fine. Have you checked? You get more views on videos after a bad game with people wanting to comment, such as should have picked João Pedro. And will João Pedro make the wall? No one makes the wall unless I've got them in my team and they do really well, or there's like a story behind it. No, honestly, people always say that, right? Because, like, obviously, you know, with football content, sometimes, you know, with fan channels, right? People have got this thing where they think if the team's doing badly, people will watch more. I don't know if that's true or not, right? But that's like the assumption. In FPL, I've said this a million times. I want to do really well. If I do really well, I get way more views than if I do really badly. Like, easily. Do you drink? I love the questions that people have. Like, oh, it's just so funny. Do you drink tap or bottled water? I drink tap water. I've had over a litre of nice tap water this morning. Jack, how's it going? How's the weather at home? I don't know, probably miserable. It's quite cold this morning, actually. Not playing FC26. I played a couple of hours on stream the other day. I really want to stream FIFA, but I just don't think I can. I've tried so many times before. I think it's the concentration you need to play Ultimate Team. It's the concentration. Like, every game, you've got to be fully like on it. At least you have at my skill level. Game week 5 bench boost, game week 6 wildcard. Need a 1 week defender for Murillo. Van Dijk, stick with you. Which would be the best week to wildcard? It depends on your team. Either 6, 7, or 8, or then probably 13. I would say after that. Play Murillo with Esteve on bench or make a transfer. I would just play. Yeah, no, that's fine. I wouldn't make a transfer for that. I think you just leave it as it is, or just play Esteve if you want to be completely sure. Yeah, career mode maybe. Maybe I'll just stream World of Warcraft. I'm English. I live in Australia with my missus is Irish. My accent is still Essex, but say things like you know yourself and no worries. Yeah, I can. There's a phrase that I know I definitely say. Oh, it's like have a go at, but like I don't think that's it. It's something to do with that. Danny, I missed your super chat. Did I though? Did I? Did I miss it? Oh no, I just did it. Start Sanchez or Dubravka. Dubravka. I don't live in Australia. Correct, yeah. No, sure, go on. No, I don't say anything like that. It's something to do with having a go at someone. How do the Irish people say that? No. Yeah, I've been playing quite a bit recently, yeah. Only 15 minutes left and you still have Bruno. I know, what a shock. It's actually 16 minutes, by the way. Porro or Reinders? Porro. Martinez or Sells? Sells. Battlefield 6? No, I'm rubbish at those games. All the Irish phrases people are saying are not ones that I was giving out. Yeah, give out. That's it. Giving out to them. That's a very Irish thing. I would probably say that these days. There's probably a bunch of other stuff as well. But anyway, I don't have the accent. What to do with Verts? Got Semenya, wildcard 6. Keep him. Play 2 of Anderson, Paquetá and Verts. Verts and Paquetá, I think. Your bad game, it's good for my mental health. You never take it too seriously and remind us it's just a game. Yeah, at least I do on camera. Maybe like in real life, I'm like, come on, I need to just get some points. Will Villa ever score again? No, definitely not. Start Juve or Esteve. Will Porro start? I think Porro will start, yeah. I'm going to say Juve over Esteve just for the attacking potential. I've just noticed the bench rankings. Nice work. Thank you very much. I could just have that on screen only. The funny thing is, right, not most of it. Well, no, I don't know, a good chunk of it. The ticker at the bottom and the bench rankings, like I'm trying to put stuff on the screen that will stop people having to put in so many super chats. I like, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. But like, you know, best captain, like this week's a bit different because there's a lot of different captain options if you don't have Salah. But most weeks, right, it's like there's a straight top 2 or top 3. So you don't need to ask me about captaincy because I've got it on screen. If there's an injury, I've got it in the bottom ticker. So I'm trying to put stuff in there so people don't have to like pay money or whatever as much, and just to help out in general. But yeah, whether or not it works, I don't know. Petrovic, Van der Ven, Reinders, Burn on the bench. Should I bench boost? It's okay. I suspect you might get a better one soon, but you'd have to go and look at your own team. Rank captains: Van Dijk, Semenyo, then Watkins, then Van Dijk. Love from Amar. Thank you. Is there early team news? Not yet. Not yet. I only stream on YouTube for FPL. I did try doing the double stream once. I've got a FPL channel set up, but on Twitch. It just got too confusing for me, so I just went back to YouTube only. I basically started the stream on Twitch, and then straight away came off it again. Esteve, Barnes, Van der Ven, and what keeper for bench boost got Trafford? I mean, I would just go cheap. So Darlow or Dubravka. I'm captaining Gibbs White over Watkins. Thoughts? I prefer Watkins, but sure, why not if you're taking a punt? Gibbs White's fine. Like, it's a good fixture. Ange might get him playing even better. You did most of my super chat. You went to go answer it, but then went on a tangent about Irish accents. No, I did answer it. It was Esteve Murillo, and I said, oh, hang on, let me find it again. I definitely answered it. Play Murillo with Esteve on the bench or make a transfer. Yeah, I said don't make a transfer. And then I said you could even just play Esteve if you want to play it super safe. Who to bench? Who to bench? Tarkowski, Juve, Lacroix, Hartman, or Porro? Probably it feels bad to bench Tarkowski, by the way, just because he always gets DEFCONs. But I think Juve, Lacroix, and Hartman probably better. Start King or Brennan Johnson, or swap Johnson to who? I would just start King for now. Bench boost is an inconvenient chip. It's not too bad, but it has been quite annoying so far. Coke Zero at 10 in the morning. What's the problem with that? If I was drinking coffee, would anyone have a problem? Probably not. Give me my caffeine. You know, I've been up since 6:30. Why did you move to Galway for work? Mohammed, thank you. 29 months. Play one. Giu, Nico Williams, Agbadu, Poro. Probably Nico Williams, then Agbadu, then Poro, then Giu in that order, I think. United bias aside, Captain Enzo or Robertson? Enzo, I guess. Well, yeah, Robertson might not even start. Gabriel for Tom, what are you doing? You're just going for every one of your players. You're having whiskey this morning, nice. I'm not saying Coke Zero is as good as coffee. I'm just saying, like, I want my caffeine early. Give me. Why does it matter if I drink this at 12 or 2 or 4? What difference does it make? Do you have to exchange foreign currency? Maybe if you're going to a country which needs different currency. What a question. How to make the perfect cup of tea? I don't drink tea. Start Strand Larson for Reinders. I don't mind that punt, yeah. Oh. I'd maybe punt Strand Larson over Reinders, possibly, yeah. Isak is starting. According to who? I've not seen anything yet. Start Murillo or Esteve. I think Esteve for safety, but if they both start, I think Murillo's better. Can you use pounds in Ireland? No. Which trophy will Forest win next season? Premier League, probably. What points are you usually happy with in a game? It really depends on how many points everyone else gets. Honestly, like sometimes you can score 50 and it's huge. Sometimes you can score 50 and it's a massive red arrow. Like, depends. Like 78 was pretty good last week, but actually, like the average was like 63 or something plus. Did I get Jack's super chat? Possibly. Bench one, King, Anderson, or Reinders. Oh, I didn't know. Reinders, definitely. Bench one of Van der Ven or Richards, Van der Ven. Who would you bench boost with Esteve, Dubravka, and the two you choose? So Reinders, Van der Ven, Estevan. Yeah, I probably would, yeah. Start Tarkovsky or Senesi. Van der Ven or Dewsbury Hall? Probably Van der Ven. Bench boost with Dubravka, Esteve, Reinders, Juve. Probably yes. Less than 10 minutes to go, by the way. If you haven't already, make sure to give the stream a like. Hit that subscribe button as well. Maybe we could hit 500k this season. Is it possible? It's going to be tough, but it's possible. We're nearly on 473k. If not this season, maybe next season. Best Sarah replacement for this week only. I mean, it depends how much money you've got, right? But you've already got Semenyo, so I don't know. Honestly, the options are so rubbish this week. In Burmo, Gibbs, White, Mitoma. Mitoma, maybe. But the options are so bad. I guess because of Sar's price, I'll say Mitoma. Dubravka, Reinders, Esteve, Murillo. Nice. Is João Pedro a decent shout for captain over Salah? Not really, in my opinion. 500k subs or overall rank? Maybe both. Start Rodon or Murillo. Maybe take the risk on Murillo. I would just say, I think Murillo is going to start or just not be in the squad, but there is a chance he just gets benched. So are you willing to take the risk? If you are, go Murillo. Otherwise, just play it safe with Rodon. Nah, I don't say that's grand. I don't really say too much Irish stuff now I think about it. Funds for Haaland and Njai for Mateta and Salah in Game Week 6 and Palmer for Bruno Game Week 8. It's just about exact right now. Mostly going to be priced out. Plan B suggestion. I don't know. I don't know what the rest of your team is. Maybe make a second transfer to get the money for Palmer for Bruno. So like roll in 7. I mean, the alternative is just not to go for Njai, right? And go for a cheaper midfielder. Like Reinders or someone like that. Bench one, Van der Ven, Nico Williams, Rodon. Van der Ven, I think. Even though he's a goal-scoring machine. Best attacker for this game week besides Haaland and Pedro. Salah? Would you start Kudus or Sabos? Like Kudus, definitely. Pedro Porro, Reinders. Porro, I think. I tried to warn you over 2 weeks ago that Salah isn't as effective anymore. He just got a goal and assist in the Champions League. Put up 2 expected goal involvement. He's not as effective anymore due to how we play. Then the guy puts up like 2 XGI in one game. I mean, if that's not effective, I'd love to know what is. How many points from bench boost would you consider for it to be successful? I don't know. 10 plus is probably fine. I mean, 8's the minimum, I suppose. So 10, 12 plus. Oh, I'd play Esteve over using a transfer on Sarr. Yeah, I think so. Gibbs White, captain, crazy. Not crazy, but... yeah, not crazy. It's okay. Thoughts on Wolves' defensive double up this week is a big differential. If you've got them already, but I wouldn't be going out of my way to buy them, that's for sure. Best forward besides Haaland and João Pedro. I mean, you could argue it's Gyökeres, you know. Otherwise, I'd almost flip a coin between Wood, Mateta, and Watkins. I say Wood, then Mateta. No, Wood, then Watkins, then Mateta, probably. Don't you want Dewsbury Hall to blank as he will wipe the clean sheet for Salah and Van Dijk? Yeah, probably overall, yeah. Probably better for me for him to blank. But that's fine, right? I knew when I went for Dewsbury Hall, he wasn't a great pick on bench boost. I just wanted him long term. I could have gone for Stack at Leeds. Interestingly, Stack's numbers are actually quite good. He's more likely, he's taken some set pieces like Dewsbury Hall. He's more likely to get defensive contributions. But even his attacking numbers have been okay so far, like ish. Not as good as Dewsbury Hall, but not bad. So if I really wanted a better bench boost option, I could have gone for him. But I just prefer Dewsbury Hall, I think, from 6 onwards. And like I kind of feel like I got him in game week 1. I got to trust him a bit more. Maybe that'll be my downfall, trusting Dewsbury Hall too much. But I don't know. I saw him as like a lot of minutes kind of guy, and he seems to be playing 90 every week. So I just like him. No leaks. Thinking of someone else instead of Njai. Already have Reinders. Have your team except for... yeah, just someone else cheap then. Dewsbury Hall, Stack, Elliot Anderson, Caicedo. So that's your alternative, right? Yeah. Start 2, Nico Williams, Porro, Rodon, Anderson. Nico and Anderson. Which goalkeeper's better to start? Dubravka, Sales? I'd start Sales. Van der Ven or Senesi? Watkins or Salah captain? Salah! Come on. Been at work all morning, only just here. Hope work went well. Chris Wood, captain, thoughts. His minutes, I reckon 75 plus. He got a full break midweek. And it's not an international break he's coming back off. So 75 plus, I reckon. Sanchez, Dubravka, Hartman, Van der Ven start 2. Dubravka and Hartman. Do I believe in the early fixture curse? Not really. Captain Watkins? Sure. Why not? What do you think about Reinders? Is he going to bang 2 goals? Against the best defence in the league? Probably, yeah. Oh God, Reinders is definitely scoring this week. Can't believe it. I've been too hard on him today. Definitely scoring. Dubravka, Dewsbury Hall, Paquetá, Esteve worth a bench boost. Yeah, for me, yeah. 30 minutes tops for Wood. I doubt it. I mean, long term, he might not be Ange Postecoglou's favoured number 9, but I think right now he's probably starting. Oh, this has been such a good week for FPL. Like, game week 4, the stress was real on Friday. And then this, just to be able to, like, just roll through without any issues. Love it. I mean, hopefully I don't get any last minute problems with my team. But it seems pretty good at the moment. What week does Izak become an option? I need to see his minutes over the next few weeks. I won't be looking at him until game week 8 at the earliest. And even then, I just do not see me buying it. Like, I'd rather have Palmer than Izak. I think to have both, you've got to ditch Salah and Haaland. I just don't see that happening. I just don't see me buying Izak anytime soon. But I'm more than happy to change my mind and admit that I'm wrong on that. Would you bench boost with Sanchez, Reinders, Agbadou, Guy? Probably not, no. Do Paquetá to Reinders? No chance. Not this week. Transfer Gakpo or Ekitike out or roll? I don't mind. Yeah, I'd roll, I think. I'd roll rather than those two transfer options. And then next week have a rethink. I have 2,500 empty Coke cans that I've drank. Where do you keep them? Planning to make a Coca-Cola truck out of the cans. I mean, once the Coca-Cola truck comes, we know Christmas starting. Would you do Rodgers to Semenyo or Esteve to Senesi for bench boost or just roll? I'd roll and just bench boost with the players you got. Reinders or Lacroix? I'd play Lacroix. He's scoring this week. He's probably not, but I would probably play Lacroix. What's the best week to pivot into Palmer from Salah? Maybe game week 9, possibly. But you'll want Salah back pretty soon after that, I think. Reinders or Esteve? I'm going to say Esteve. Excuse me. Reinders dropping in price tonight. Is he? No, he won't. I don't think he will. Once people see that it's Burnley next week, they'll stop selling him. But maybe. Maybe. Almost forgot to press confirm. Do you know what? I should actually double check my team. Just do a quick refresh before the deadline just to make sure we're okay. So Salah captain, Semenyo vice captain. Bench boost is active. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Salah captain. Yeah, Semenyo vice captain. 30 seconds now. 30 seconds. Would you bench boost Gakpo and Ekitike? Yes, but they're not really on your bench. Who's your actual bench? How many points have I got in total? I don't know. Over 200. Confirm fake team news. Not sure what you mean. Says he's 200k. Damn, people. Yeah, but when the game updates later on and people see Reinders has got Burnley at home next week, they probably won't be so quick to be selling him. And that might be where things are a little bit different. There we go. We're locked in. Thank you very much for joining me. Make sure to give the stream a like and hit that subscribe button before you all turn off. I know you're looking. I know you want to turn off straight away. I get it. It's the deadline. You're gone. Goodbye. But just like and subscribe before you go. Like and subscribe before you go. We are locked in. My bench boost is active. So that's my wild card and my bench boost gone now. So only triple captain and free hit left. And triple captain might happen in game week 6. That's going to be the big talking point next week. Do you do Salah to Haaland? Who do you buy for Salah? Do you triple captain Haaland? That's what it's going to be all next week. It doesn't matter how many times I answer those questions next week. The questions for the next video will be exactly the same. I guarantee it. But then again, maybe FPL brings up some interesting discussions from the matches this weekend. You're going to captain Kudus. Tom, did you literally go for every team? Every player in your team? With Isak, would you consider him over Salah when Isak starts picking up steam? I really need to see more. Like, Isak's not going to have penalties. He's not going to have as many minutes, in my opinion, as he did at Newcastle. Salah's still the one, I think. The problem is, I don't think it's a case of, like, for me, I haven't thought about trying to get Isak in that much. But it's not Haaland and Isak, is it? It's Haaland and Isak or Palmer. Like, if you try and have Palmer, Isak, and Haaland, it's probably doable. But my guess is I wouldn't like the team. So I'd rather have Palmer than Isak, I think. And if Liverpool's fixtures get so good that Isak becomes a good option, that means I really need Salah back. Dubravka, Milenkovic, Reinders, Goodmanson. Do you think that it was worth a bench boost? I probably would have bench boosted that, yeah. Can't believe I'm bench boosting with Fulkrug. Hopefully you do all right. One final Coke Zero plug before we go. Here's to another Coke Zero can. Which apparently is terrible to be drinking at 11 a.m. General question. Arsenal fixture swing overrated. Defenders are the best assets, but all very expensive with low DEFCON. Not overrated, I don't think, because of how good their defense is. And the fixtures are like, they've got like West Ham in 7, and then later on it's something like Burnley and Sunderland back-to-back in 11 and 12, I think. Or 10 and 11. You know, it's Fulham away in 8's not amazing, but Fulham aren't exactly a team that score loads of goals. Then Palace at home in 9. Then it's Burnley away, Sunderland away. I know they've got low DEFCONs, but I still think they're pretty damn good for clean sheets and whatever. I mean, we all know that by now, right? I don't think I need to convince people that Arsenal defence is good anymore. Why are people using all their chips 5 games into the season? They're not using all of them, but we've got double chips now, right? So we got wildcard, free hit, triple captain, and bench boost to use in the first half of the season and the second half. So you got to get them used at some point. What games will I be watching? So I'll be watching the Liverpool game, most of it anyway. I might have to go out for the second half. Definitely watching Man United Chelsea. I don't know if I'll watch Brighton versus Spurs. I might have it on in the background while I'm playing games or something. And then Fulham Brentford, maybe. Again, that might be on in the background. And then tomorrow, I definitely watch Arsenal City. I don't know if I can watch Bournemouth Newcastle, but I think that'd be a good game. I really want to watch it. No team news. I'm not going to stick around, I don't think. It'd probably be retail World of Warcraft, or maybe I might go back on some FIFA. I might play some FIFA today. We'll see. You can't be watching Fulham Brentford. I won't be sitting down to specifically watch it, but have it on in the background. So I've got my PS5 near my TV, but like on a separate screen, so I can play like FIFA with Fulham in the background, or I can play WoW on the laptop with Fulham in the background. I mean, I could just do one thing at once. Like, it's such a classic 2025 thing to have like one thing going on, another one. But am I out drinking? No, not really. Will I ever stream the new Football Manager? Maybe. A lot of people not a lot of people, but some people ask that. Alliance or Horde? I got characters on both. Does YouTube exchange your foreign currency super? Oh, okay. I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. They do. Yeah. Ever tried old school RuneScape? No, I don't think I could start playing RuneScape. I think if you played it and you love it, then I get why you're still playing it. I think it's like WoW. I think it's quite hard to get into WoW these days. Final Fantasy 14. Do you know what? I really wish I could have got hooked on Final Fantasy 14 because in terms of the music and stuff, I love it because I've played like Final Fantasy 7, 9, etc. I just find the combat's just not as fluid as with WoW. So, not yeah, not into it. I also kind of, if Guild Wars 2, I've said this before, if Guild Wars 2 had the same like healer, tank, DPS mechanics as WoW, I would have loved that as well. That was really good when it came out. Thoughts on FC26? Seems okay so far. Watch along for the Man United game? Probably not. But who knows? My dad only drinks Coke Zero. I mean, 2 litres a day easy. He doesn't remember the last time he had water. I just want your thoughts on Amarim, though. I wonder where we were going with that. Like I said earlier, I do drink a lot of Coke Zero, but I do drink a lot of water. I easily drink 2+ litres of water a day. So I definitely don't drink Coke instead of water, that's for sure. Thoughts on Amarim? I really want it to work. Like, really, really want it to work because I think he's a super likable guy. Like, I love the joke he made yesterday. Like, he was asked about what he was speaking to. Oh my god, I can't remember his name. Why can't I remember his name? The guy who's like running. Oh, Ratcliffe, right? He was speaking to him, and he said he was offering me a new contract. I love that. Like, he's doing so badly, and he's still got time to crack a joke like that. So I want it to work. I just don't think it works. Here's the thing, right? This is my short summary of Man United. I don't think Man United can keep hold of Amarim much longer if the results keep up, which I don't think they're going to get better. I also don't think things will get better when he gets sacked. It's just the same old cycle. I think his position's starting to become untenable. Especially, like, let's say he loses to Chelsea, which is not great, right? But we all know that Chelsea are the better team. So if he loses, so be it. If he loses like one of Brentford or Sunderland, I don't think they can keep him much longer. But I also do not expect things to get much better when he goes. You should do more watch-alongs. Your level of commentary poetry is something only Preeter Drury. I really think that is nonsense, but thanks. Do you like Diet Coke? No, I'm a Coke Zero kind of guy. Are you lucky enough to do this as a full-time job now? Yeah, I've been doing this full-time for like 2 or 3 years. So. How are you still here? Get with the usual routine. I don't know. Thoughts on Breath of the Wild? Is that? I've never played it. I've never played any Zelda game. Will you ever play Ultimate Team? I was playing it the other day, yeah. I'll celebrate with a Coke Zero if Garnacho. Oh, do you know what's going to be really nice? Garnacho not only will score, but he will celebrate. And by the way, I think players should celebrate. I hate this. I can't celebrate against my old team. But Garnacho will definitely celebrate. Do you think 5 at the back works in FPL? I think it definitely can work some weeks, yeah. Jim fired Dan Ashworth because he opposed Amram and wanted Frank. Is that true though? Because it wasn't all the talk that Dan Ashworth wanted Southgate. By the way, okay, I shouldn't say this live on the stream. I don't think I want Gareth Southgate as manager, but I am intrigued by it. I am intrigued. I just don't know if I want. I just don't know if I want that test to be at Man United. Have I done my walk today? I've done about 5 point something. Let me see. Tracked it, of course. It doesn't count if you don't track it these days. 5.48, a little bit further. Do you not think women on Ultimate Team is flawed? You get an 85 goalkeeper who's 5'7". I think you're playing a game. Does it really matter? Like the top women are the top women, right? Just like the best players in the men's game, you got the best players in the women's game. I really don't think it's a massive problem at all. In fact, I don't think it's a problem at all. Do I make more money from? I'm not going to talk about money. Just know that it's about 50k a stream. That's all you need to know. You'll have to wear a waistcoat if Southgate goes to United. Maybe. Did I play Diablo back in the day? No. So Diablo was the intro game to WoW. So I got into WoW because my friend was big into EverQuest and he wanted to play a new game. He doesn't play it anymore, by the way. So he kind of got me stuck. He actually quit pretty early on. 20 years later, I'm still playing. I haven't played every single expansion consistently. In fact, there's a lot of expansions I've barely played at all. I've always leveled a character, but that's about it. But the last two expansions kind of got me hooked back in. Quite a lot because of the alt stuff. I like having lots of alts, and they made that super friendly now. And actually will probably kiss the badge. You're probably not 5.48 miles, by the way, kilometers. A few scoops in October in Galway. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't really drink that much these days. 50k per stream, give or take a few thousand, yeah. To be honest, EA need to kind of make the shorter women defenders and keepers better because they're kind of useless. Yeah, I don't think I can really articulate it in a good way live on stream, but I think it makes sense to have the best women as good as the best men in a video game. Otherwise, they wouldn't be used, right? I think overall it's just a good thing. I really don't get why people get. If you don't want to use them, don't use them. If you just want to use the male players, just use the male players. I really don't get what the big issue is about it. People are just weird. 50k, is that it? Yeah, I know. Could be better. Do you have a gaming laptop? I've got a work laptop that happens to be good for games. Well, actually, it's not that good for games, but it runs well. How much did it all cost? I can't remember. What was your childhood console growing up? The first Nintendo, the NES. That was my first ever console. I think if I remember right, all my family chipped in. That was like my one Christmas present, which, by the way, pretty happy with. Play the new Dying Light. I don't really play too many games. I get basically I've got I basically get hooked on a game and I just don't do anything else. Like games wise, I'm not one of those people that just plays a game for a bit, then puts it down, goes and plays another one. I just get hooked on one. I just play that until I'm bored of it. Then I play something else. By the way, might as well stay on until 1:15 now just to see the team news. I'm only 4 minutes away from it. So you get extra money for mentioning Bruno Fernandes. About 10 grand a week, something like that. Considering selling Mateta soon, I might sell him this week for the Haaland switch. The old Haaland switch. Oh my god, I've seen that. People are saying that Verts has been benched. Surely not. Where are you seeing that? Who said that? Rumours that Verts is on the bench and Hugo is starting, so it could be Ekitike and Isak. Oh no, sorry, it could just be Ekitike instead of Isak. And just Szoboszlai in midfield. Who's the best player I've got in FC26? Actually, I got Kvaratskhelia. I packed him. Okay, I'm going to have to wait now. I'm going to have to wait until 1:15. Then I'm going to go and get breakfast. I think Verts just starts. Where are people seeing this? Best FIFA in your opinion? I don't really remember, to be honest. I just played them and quite like most of them. They always seem fine to me. Predict any shock results over the weekend. Man United to beat Chelsea. Did you open your icon pack? I don't think I got one. Maybe, maybe not. Where are people seeing Verts bench? You can't... Verts starts, Verts bench, Verts starts. Surely he starts. Oh, Dan reckons no Verts, Isak, or Frimpong. Oh my days. Would you ever do an FPL stream from a pub in Galway live with your fans? I just don't think I've got it in me to do that. Like, I think that'd be really nerve-wracking. Salah bench, yeah, probably not. Oh, Mikalenko's fit apparently. Oh, I'm seeing the team now. Go okay. Yeah, so Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Ekitike, Gakpo, and Salah. Wow. Okay, Bradley right back. If that okay, let's just see. Let's just see. Leaked Chris Wood brace. Okay. I'm gonna have to wait now. Got 1 more minute until we get the official team. Yeah, I don't think Van Dijk. Yeah, Verts is on the bench. So is Isak. Wow. That is massive. Wow. Someone did say that to me last week, that after Champions League, maybe it happens, but I just felt like he was going to be pretty much nailed. What a terrible pick. And I'm not trying to rub it in because I picked him in game week 1. But, like, what a terrible pick he has been. No goals, no assists, and a benching. So he's not even nailed. I mean, I did think people's expectations were for him were too high at the start of the season, but I didn't expect this. All I can say though, one thing I did know, Bruno Fernandes is a better pick than Verts. Just saying. Mikalenko starts, by the way. Is Branthwaite's not on the bench yet, so it's Keane again. Grealish, it's the same attack. That means Garner and Garner in midfield, which is good for Everton. Good for Everton. Wow. Okay. I think anyone that I tell you now, Verts is going down to 8.2 million pretty quick. Pretty damn quick. He's got to go. He's got to go. There's just no reason to keep him now. That's insane. Okay, I'm off. Verts owners, if you got him, that does suck. I feel for you. FPL sucks sometimes. You might still have a really good week. Fingers crossed that you do. I will see some of you for the knee-jerk stream tomorrow. I suspect there's going to be a lot of wildcards played in Game Week 6, even more so now. Excuse me, even more so now. Enjoy your weekends, and I will catch you tomorrow for the knee-jerk stream. Thanks for watching. Give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you soon.